Captain Pav and GONxFREAKS on stage. News from RedNex, where truth is the stage. No bias here, just facts you'll see. In every corner, the world story will tell. From the streets of Paris to Tokyo's gleam, every city, every voice will hear them. No spin, no hype, just calm and serene. RedNex World News, where truth is supreme. Captain Pav and GONxFREAKS, unbiased crew, bringing you the news without a slew. RedNex World News, where truth takes flight. Every day, every night, we keep it tight. Through the chaos, through the calm, we stand. With Captain Pav and GONxFREAKS, we understand. The pulse of the world will never let it fade. RedNex World News, where truth is made. From wars to peace, from despair to hope, we're here to guide you through the scope. No matter the storm, we'll keep you informed. RedNex World News, where truth is born. Captain Pav and GONxFREAKS, unbiased crew, bringing you the news without a clue. RedNex World News, where truth takes flight. Every day, every night, we keep it up.
Welcome.
Captain Pav and GONxFREAKS on stage. News from RedNex, where
Welcome.
stage. No bias here, just facts you'll see. In every corner, the world story will tell.
All right, how's everyone doing today? Welcome, Bobby.
No spin, no hype, just calm.
All right, let me get my phone plugged in. I hope everyone is having a lovely Saturday afternoon.
GONxFREAKS, unbiased crew, bringing you the news.
Hear that? Unbiased. GONxFREAKS, we miss you, buddy.
Every day, every night, we keep it tight.
GONxFREAKS is traveling today. Let's turn this down a little bit. All right, GONxFREAKS will not be joining us, but I love how she says it, and I just rolled with it, so I'm gonna allow it. Let's see. Let's switch over to our first item of business, but before we do that, just a reminder to everyone, this is TeamVenture Gaming RedNex World News Weekend Recap Edition, where we're going to be having lots of fun checking out all the news that happened this week. Keep in mind, this is for entertainment and educational purposes only. And we hope you have a lot of fun with us today. Feel free to leave some comments in the chat. We would love to chat with y'all today. And above all else, make sure you have fun. So let's get right into it. News. I know. Ziggy, you want to join today? You want to pop in? I'll pop into Discord just in case anyone wants to join us today on the stream. If not, that's fine too. I'll go ahead and unmute A lot of times it's just fun having someone to talk with. All right, so as usual, we're going to kick it off with youth. The youth of the country is quite screwed. Let's see what Tucker Carlson has to say about this.
People don't own things, they don't feel ownership of the country they're in. And the country gets super volatile.
If people don't own things, they don't feel ownership of the country they're in. That's the initial statement here. People need to be able to own things and feel like they have skin in the game and something they're working toward.
Because people feel like they've got nothing to lose. When you have a lawn, trust me, you're thinking long term. Second, it's really hard to have a family without a house. It is. It's like super fun to live in an apartment if, there's like a bar downstairs, you're in a cool neighborhood. I'm in East Village, it's so cool.
Oh, home ownership is impossible, man. When I bought my house, it was like during the housing crash. What was that, like 2008 or something? I bought this thing for like, what? I don't know. 60,000. Now it's like 160,000, but who the fuck? It's like the most basic house, and I felt rich at the time when I started my first job out of college. I felt like I was making some good money, and then I got upgraded, and I bought a house and did all the things, and now I feel poor as hell. My house is paid off. My car is paid off. I got shit. It's hard, and now kids they don't have nothing to start with. And they gotta pay $1 million for anything. And housing's out of control. How is anyone supposed to buy a house? Welcome, Ziggy!
Try to have 3 kids. You're not going to have 3 kids there. You can't. Nobody wants to raise their kids in that neighborhood. Nobody wants to raise their kids in an apartment. People do it because they have to. Nobody wants to.
Homes are just
People
way
want a
too
little
expensive.
house, not.
Housing is way too expensive. It's crazy. And rent is too expensive. To get anything, it's like most of your check's gone by the time you get to do anything. It's like, oh, I need a place to live. Oh, that's all my money. Great.
One bedroom around here for like 1,000.
Ziggy, is your mic being funny? You're like super quiet and choppy, but feel free to jump in if you get that sorted.
Wow.
Not some McMansion, just a little normal house. That is
I want a
the actual
McMansion.
American dream. And that is what is totally unattainable for young people. And so the only young people in general that you will ever meet who have houses are young people whose parents help them. And God bless their parents. That's a perfectly great thing to do for your kids. But most people's parents can't afford to do that because they're already in debt from their pointless college degree. So that is a national emergency. If people don't own
National emergency. Yes, it is. It is. It's crazy. No, and it's not getting any better. How can it? And you gotta pay people more, but kids are so fucking stupid. They can't do anything. How are you gonna pay them? How? What are you gonna pay them? They're stupid. Let me move this out of order. Sorry. Let's move. All right. Now this guy, I don't know. This is the first time I'm running into this guy, but holy moly, talk about instant like racist who thinks everyone else is racist.
So we have our favorite racist, and that is going to be Charlie Kirk. You know, Charlie Kirk, who is most famously known for being afraid that there's a black pilot. That person, I'm trying to say, I hope he's qualified. Okay?
Yeah, it's more than a revamp because they keep changing the school system. They just keep making it worse. And I don't know, maybe with the Department of Education being shut down and like, I don't know really how that's going to necessarily help, but hopefully it helps somehow. I mean, honestly, if you're not homeschooling your kids, you're pretty much sending them to like a useless daycare that does not teach them anything. It does not prepare them for anything. And I don't know, like the amount of time you have to like, I feel like the amount of time you have to invest into the kids is like crazy. And you have to like stay on top of them because they're going to want to use the AI or they're going to want to just watch fucking YouTube doom scroll all day and not learn a damn thing. And it's like, oh my God, like, and they don't even understand like
the full-time job.
Yeah, exactly. And they can't communicate. I was talking to someone, they're like, oh, I text my boss this. I'm like, well, first off, that's not something you text your boss. At some point, you gotta look someone in the, especially if you're making damn excuses, you better go look someone in the fucking eye and explain yourself, because otherwise you're a fucking loser, if you ask me. You can hear the video and Discord. I can put, so I have the audio from the videos going through Discord, but I can turn that off if it's messing you.
I've got, so it should be okay.
All right, perfect.
Now I'm choppy.
Now I can hear you good. All right, welcome everybody. For those that don't recognize his beautiful voice, we got Ziggy joining us today, one of our other redneck friends. Cheers to the weekend. It's actually the weekend.
Cheers to the freaking weekend.
I don't often get to say that and be correct, so I will take advantage of the situation, as it were. Just like Freaky with the mic. Yep, I know, and I gotta figure out what the hell's going on. I need to just convince him to.
Well, my mic problem should be fixed now. I was using my my boom mic, and I haven't completely got it all set up yet, so I switched back over to my headset.
Yeah, it sounded like it was a little too far. All right, well, sounds good now. Thank you for joining. It's definitely a lot easier to have a co-host. I have this whole lineup planned out. Feel free to pop in. I'm going to be yelling and screaming and trying to bounce stuff off you, but buckle up, everyone. This is going to be quite the ride. So this guy is saying Charlie Kirk, who you all know I'm not necessarily a big fan of, but apparently Charlie Kirk is a racist, and we'll find out why in a second. But a lot of stuff this guy is about to say,
this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, it kind of makes me very angry.
Okay, I hope he's qualified, because he could be DEI.
I'm sorry, if I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified.
What? Nothing.
And see, the problem is that's not, like, at its core, this isn't even like a controversial statement, because the point is not like, oh, black people are stupid. The point is we have policies that promote stupid black people. They don't promote stupid white people. So it's unbalanced. So if you see one of them, you have to say, do they fall in that category? But if you see a white person, you don't have to worry about it because they don't have that. So, like, the fundamental premise here is flawed. And this guy's like, oh, black people can't do it. No, that's not what we're saying. The problem is you want to put black people that are too stupid to do it in there because they're black. That's the problem.
No, the problem is you get 80% of crimes being committed is by usually African American people, you know, so unfortunately that society falls into that category.
Well, he has something to say about that actually coming up too, and it's kind of also really frustrating. We promote stupid white people on Facebook. Exactly. That's it. And so what? We don't have to have affirmative action on Facebook. It's just old white people watching other old white people be stupid.
But, you know, classic fear-mongering that they did, you know, in the White House.
Fear-mongering!
The nation that they've continued on until 2025. You know, the lineage of evil, that's why we call it the lineage of evil, because it's a lineage, and Charlie Kirk is
Has anyone ever heard of this lineage of evil? I've never heard this term.
I've never heard of it.
And holding the lineage strong. That being said, this anti-black racist goes on with another anti-black racist, Tucker Carlson podcast. Now, Tucker has been a little easy on black people right now. His focus is targeting the Jews, right? The Jews, that's what's going on, Mossad, that's what's happening. But there was a clip that caught my attention because I couldn't believe what they were saying. And the reason why I couldn't believe what they were saying, because it was so hypocritical. The hypocrisy in this clip was just too much, man. It was overwhelming to like my nervous system. Like I had to like take a breather, take a walk, right? That's what I had to do. Charlie Kirk is saying is exactly what black people have been saying for years now, for decades. And whenever we say it, we're ignored. But when Charlie Kirk says it, he has a point. And that is, he's talking about white youth. He's talking about, hey, if white youth just realize their power, that they split the atom, that, they help us fight a war, world war.
But the power of young white men in this country, if they were motivated and purposeful, yeah, young white men helped us win a world war and get to the moon and split the atom.
And I just find it interesting, first off, because I'm like, it's fascinating how when it comes to war, especially right now, that it's never dubbed white on white crime. You ever notice that? How they...
What? And this, do you hear this? There were two adjacent statements that were completely unrelated. Two completely unrelated statements said next to each other as though they were a cohesive thought. But it's not. What the fuck just happened? We just said... What? Hold. Let's back that up. Make sure we're fully following this, because I don't understand how people just can say two things next to each other and expect it. I don't know. They don't understand it. It's got to be a continual thought. I don't understand how any of this is related. Lineage of evil vision. What is this? I did not notice that the first time.
Let's win a world war and get to the moon and split the atom.
And
all of that just sounded so damn evil to me. Yeah, they helped us win a war, get to the moon, and split an atom. Although, I don't know. Apparently, what we're supposed to not do those things? What are we even talking about? And then
I just find it interesting, first off, because I'm like, it's fascinating how when it comes to war, especially...
It's fascinating how when it comes to war... It's fascinating how when it comes to war...
Right now, that it's never dubbed white on white crime. You ever...
That it's never dubbed white on white crime. The fuck does that even mean? How, what? War is dubbed white on white crime? What are you even talking about? He finds it fascinating. I don't get it. I'm trying. I'm like honestly trying to put the pieces together and I don't see it.
You notice that? How they colorize certain crime and then other crime, well, it's just crime, Lucas. It's just...
You notice how they colorize crime? We were just talking about war. And now we're talking about colorizing crime. I do not know what is happening.
I mean, look at that face. This guy's all over the place.
I know. This is a crazy person just like spewing nonsense. And he's got 500,000 subscribers. 500,000 people listen to this incoherent nonsense and apparently enjoy consuming it. I don't understand. This is insanity.
Crime. Then when a white person kills another white person, it's never dubbed as white on white crime. Well, this population has a problem. But when a black person kills a black person, oh yeah, it's black on black crime. That's what it is.
So when white people kill white people, it's not white on white crime, but when black people kill black people, it's black on black crime. Well, there is possibly something to that. Like there's at its like fundamentally like foundational level, there could be something there. The problem is,
I mean, it's statistically there.
Yeah, yeah, and statistically, there are less, like the smaller population infighting to that same smaller population versus the larger population fighting against the larger population. Like, you don't call out the thing that is perhaps more normal, like more obvious. Like the larger population having a problem is fine, but when a subset has a problem within its own subset, well, you might call that out as kind of specialized. I don't know. It's like crazy. It's like the level. These people can't go beyond like the most surface level anything, and it's all just like rhetorical nonsense. It's just, they just don't even try. As long as it on the very top level seems good, then literally the next thing they say can be anything. He finds it interesting that war is not labeled white on white crime. I don't even know what that means. Does anyone know what that means?
No, I do not.
And, oh, did that community come up with that crime name? Interesting. I don't know. I don't know the history of that.
And being in this country, you become hypersensitive to such things due to the racist background and, you know, the country being systematically racist towards black.
Oh my God! Of course, the whole country is systematically racist against stupid black people. How? How? Oh my God. This is... Well, that's where the subscribers come from, because it's people that want to just have and hear other people saying this nonsense so that it seems like more justifiable for them to be completely batshit fucking insane. And I don't... This is just too much for me.
Americans. This is real. And I think this is something that many people try to refuse, because if they accept that this is real, well, then you have two options. Either you accept it and do nothing, or you are forced to do something. And if you are a reasonable, God-fearing individual, which they constantly love to say, God this, God that, you should be inclined to try and undo the wrongs that have been done, that are still being done.
To this day.
When it comes to war, right? The war. I'm like, well, wasn't it the young white people who caused the war? World War I, World War II? Like, are we just going to leave this out of the equation when we talk about white youth? This is followed up with Tucker Carlson. And Tucker Carlson is just...
Didn't white people start the war? Oh my God. Just whenever it's convenient, anything convenient, I swear to God, I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it.
And we're probably never going to.
It started in the 70s, coined from news outlets like Ebony. Ooh, interesting.
Delicioso, okay? Because he talks about, well, you know what that we have to do?
Well, and frankly, that seems like exactly what he's talking about. It's like the people recognize their own selves. They had a chance. They're like, we can recognize this is a problem. We shouldn't have this kind of infighting. And they're calling it out on their own selves. Like, hey, we got to fix this. But these people are so fucking stupid that even though their own people are calling it out, saying, hey, we got to fix this, they're looking at it like, oh, it's just white people fucking... trying to racialize this, but in like a unidirectional way. And it's like, God, man, like, it's your own people trying to call out that this is a problem, and you're never going to get anywhere. Well, I guess, you know, it's more, what do they say? Instant gratification to have that drama dopamine hit of like being frantic and crazy while your life sucks and is falling apart, because in order to actually dig yourself out of a hole, like, you got to work towards it. It's got to be like focused effort towards a goal. You can't just flail around, and it takes a long time, and you don't want to do that. Instead, you just want to fucking kick and scream like little babies and not get anywhere, and then blame everyone else for your problems while still not getting anywhere. Sabrina!
Welcome, Sabrina.
To make sure to dumb down these people, is to give them weed, is to give them fentanyl, is to give them porn, right? Is to give them DraftKings, gambling.
Just give them? Who's giving out weed?
I would like to meet these people.
Out the weed? Where do I sign up?
Weed and fentanyl and benzodiazepines and DraftKings and porn, just to kind of disable them so they don't rise up and eat you.
Does your garage floor bother you? Tired of your old crap floor, or have a bad epoxy job?
He goes on, and they're saying that, you know, it's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy. Listen to me. This is literal victimhood, okay? They want to talk about black people being victims. It's like, no, we're just explaining why we're in the predicament that we are in because of your wicked behavior. Your wicked nature, I don't know if it's nature or nurture, but based off the lineage of evil, it seems to be a combination of both. Based off your wicked nature, we are in this position because you've come...
Well, and then look at this rhetoric bullshit, fucking hate mongering, non-solution oriented bullshit. Oh, because you're evil, you're naturally just evil, nasty, evil people, that because of that, we are in a bad situation. How about go fuck yourself and go figure it the fuck out? Because frankly, and especially in America, nobody gives a fucking shit. You got money, you don't got money. That's about it. And frankly, you can work towards it. Look how many, there's fucking 12-year-old kids making $50,000 a month playing goddamn Minecraft. You telling me that you can't fucking, you're so disadvantaged that compared to a fucking 12-year-old, like you can't put your shit together? I just, God! Holy man. I know, we did it. We're evil. Us evil people just beating up on these innocent people that just can't help themselves and just can't do nothing about it.
We're so evil. We just scream at them all the time.
Yeah, and I'm having a literal like heart palpitation right now because I'm gonna fucking stroke out in 5 seconds.
Come here, as the scripture says, to kill, steal, and destroy. And that's what you're doing. And that's what you're really good at doing, okay? You're like the evil Wolverine. I don't know what to tell you, okay? That's what you are. But to say that there is a conspiracy against white men in the country.
That's what I would do. I'm just saying, like, if I were in charge of society, I'd be like, holy shit, I'm afraid of these
You're
guys.
so right, and I try to. So I listen to your show all the time, Tucker. And
Sorry.
when you say stuff like that, I try to challenge it. I'm like, is it really a centralized conspiracy? I'm like,
No, it's conspiracy of
but
instinct.
then I'm like, I got nothing.
I don't know what to tell you, but how much of a victim can you really be, bruh? Huh? How much of a victim can you really be?
So you can see the victim, but you can't see the victim somehow. You can see the victim, but you can't see the victim. Do you see the victim or do you see the victim? I don't know. I don't know.
Only option is being the victim.
Yep. Well, no, the option is to be the victim while calling the other person playing the victim. But you're really the victim. You actually the victim while the other person is pretending to be the victim. And you don't see where this is just a big old circle? I know the whole, I know like how Wolverine get all mixed up in all. This guy is literally all over the place. The lineage of evil, the holiest of Wolverines. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's the problem that we have right now. We need to make white men great again. That's honestly what we need to do. Because they're listening to people like Charlie Kirk and they listen to people like Tucker Carlson. And both of these people are very weak individuals. Very weak individuals, okay? And what they're feeding the youth is propaganda. Because to say that there's a conspiracy against white people in America or white men in America is insane. If you know just a modicum of American history. Like, you're telling me white men are against white men in the white dominant country? Is that what you're telling me? Is that the conspiracy? But we all know what the conspiracy is, that they love to scapegoat. They love to scapegoat Jews. That is their favorite tool to as far as to
Did we just say the J word? Did we have gone all the way around the world at this point. And now we picked up some damn Jews along the way. I swear to God. How does this just always happen? The Jews just show up everywhere.
hide their inferiority. And it goes back to what Vivek says, and then why they casted him out, which is, white mediocrity is going to be the undoing to this country. Damn. And this conversation right here, this is exactly the problem. Because not only is it hypocritical, but it doesn't help them. It doesn't help white youth to feed them a conspiracy.
Oh, interesting. You think feeding weird-ass conspiracies to the people of your same skin color is hypocritical and non-productive. You can see that, but you can't see that. You can see it, but you can't see. It's like when you shut the light off and you can't see yourself no more. You see what I'm saying? You can't see it, but you can see it. I don't know, man. It's some gymnastics. It's like, maybe he's a vampire. They can't see themselves in the mirror. Maybe that's like more of an existential kind of reference more than like an actual thing. Maybe it's they can see it, but they can't see it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
A false.
Oh, circle without the fun? Italian? Yeah. Well, I mean, I think they would just lump you in with the whites, honestly, because Italians are overall pretty white, I would say.
Conspiracy at that. But to feed them conspiracy that they're being attacked, what it does, it alleviates some of.
Oh, feed them a conspiracy that they're being attacked. Huh. Feed them a conspiracy that they're being attacked. Huh. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Does this sound familiar to anyone?
Of any type of responsibility, any type of accountability, and we're seeing that presently. Do you understand?
Oh, it shirks any kind of accountability or responsibility. Interesting. Do we not see what's happening here? We can see it, but we can't see it, people. I can't. This is too much. I swear to God, I'm gonna die. Society puts on blinders. People put on blinders. I swear to God. Whatever's convenient, you're gonna say exactly the thing that you are presently in the moment doing, like currently this very second. And you're gonna criticize it, but you can't tell that you're doing it. And your name is Amazing Lucas? Oh my goodness. I am Amazing Lucas. Well, you are very full of yourself, Lucas, and you are I'm gonna have to get an idiot scale going, or like some sort of, like they do those tier lists. This guy is a straight, I'm gonna say he might even be a S tier idiot. That's not easy. So I congratulate you, but it seems like you have.
I mean, he's working his way up there.
Yeah, he is the king of the idiots right now, and he has an idiot army under him, and it is kind of amazing. And honestly, anyone who takes this guy seriously, you are also an idiot. It's official. All right, I will die if we get to, like, literally, I will not make it to the end of this, so I need to move on from here. So, apparently, yeah, we're not even going to recap that. So, now we have this other issue also with youth, is this unfortunate, like, oh, that we have stay-at-home children, but at the same time, moving out is pretty much impossible and is so expensive, and the kids can't do anything, and they weren't trained to do anything, and they're idiots. They can't communicate. They can't function. They can't talk to each other. They can't, like, literally, it's just... There's literally no redeeming qualities. And so I can get it. Like, I get it. You can't move out because you can't do you can't make money because you're an idiot. But at the same time, what did you think was going to happen? Like, and I've seen some clips of, like, younger people crying in their cars, like, oh, I'm homeless in my car and I work like 2 jobs and can't afford anything. And it's like, holy moly, like, like, I don't know. It's and then you got this bitch, Tommy Lauren, apparently about to say some very productive things about young men.
Problem. And you know, Speaker Johnson has been talking about
laugh, but is this an actual problem in our society?
It's a major problem. And you know, Speaker Johnson has been talking about those maybe deadbeat folks that are on Medicaid, and maybe some of those folks are the stay-at-home sons. We don't know. But I'll tell you this, leave it to Gen Z to rebrand laziness and social awkwardness as something cutesy, like a stay-at-home son. They did much the same thing with quiet quitting, where you can go to work and do less. And if you call it quiet quitting, it's somehow better. But Laura, I got to tell you, this is also a big problem when it comes to, I think, declining birth rates, people not getting married and having children. You know, that's a big problem. They blame it on women. Well, look at what young women have to choose from. The pickings are...
Oh my God. Well, first off, who's blaming what on young... Like, I don't even know what the fuck they're talking about here. Like, that does not ring any... Like, who's talking about, oh, women are just Although we'll circle back to that in a second, but that is not really a narrative I hear, number one. And then let's see. Oh, jeez.
Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but it's the feminization of men. There are a lot of young women out there that want to get married. They want to have kids. They want to have stable families. But there are a lot of young men out there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash. And therein lies a big part of the problem.
Well, and also with the rise of AI and AI dating, as they call it, which is sick, it's going to be even easier and perhaps more attractive for these types of individuals to remain behind closed doors. And what does that do to families and young women and dating?
Oh my God, I know. People are talking about just dating the AI, and it's like, well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe just things will change to the point that like having babies is more of a transactional thing, and like you just live your life with the AI, and like, or like you live side by side with someone, but you're both just like dating your own AIs and raising a child. Although I can't see that working out very well either, because many people don't raise their children, and these kids definitely should never be allowed to have children, because they can't even take care of themselves, and that means grandma's got to take care of them or whatever, and that's just bullshit. If they took away guys living in their mommy's basement, we'd never have keyboard warriors. Well, that's true too. I mean, what would fuel Twitter if not for the unemployed young men? And
I mean, we would still have
unfortunately,
those types of warriors. We would just have them in vehicles because they have the road rage warriors where they want to hide behind that steering wheel and honk that horn.
just moving the problem.
We see that a lot in Atlanta.
Well, soon the cars will be driving themselves, so they won't even have the opportunity to do that. And honestly, all the kids, yeah, right. The kids, they're so, first off, they don't even want to drive, but they get so anxious about anything, and they get just so worked up that like they're scared of literally everything. And it's like, holy moly. At some point, like, you just gotta like one foot in front of the other, man. I don't know. Get it done. And I don't know. Again, and she's talking about slim pickings and this and that, but then apparently it turns out like 2/3 of women who do not have children don't want children because they want their independence, where only half of men who don't have children don't want children. So men are actually want children more than women do, surprisingly, which is honestly crazy. Well, at least in terms of those who don't already have children. So I'm not sure about the entire population. But of those who don't have children, yes. Elder Scrolls creator died today. Why is everyone dying? Yeah, we had Ozzy, we had Hogan, apparently Hogan's theme song writer.
Don't forget about Malcolm.
Malcolm?
Can't leave out the African American guys. Come on now.
Oh, he died?
Yeah. He was the first one, like big one to die.
Wait. Someone who?
Not Malcolm X. He played on an old TV show.
This guy? Gee, I don't know this one. July 20th. Yep, they're all going down. And he's only 54. What the hell? Although he's kind of big. Not that big. Interesting. Swimming with his daughter. Drown? Yep, that's why I don't like water, man. Speed bumps and tire spikes fixes those steering wheel warriors. Yeah, apparently. Do I have something about that coming up too? All right. Well, anyway, this bitch just, being all pretty and wealthy and everything, thinks she can talk down to everyone for being a loser. So, I don't know. It seems kind of I mean, the first thing she said is, "Oh, everybody blaming women." First off, I've never heard that. And then she said, "Oh, there's slim pickings." Well, what are you talking about? And and what's so appealing about like the other side? Like you're saying within a given age bracket, the women are just like far more impressive than the men or something. It just doesn't make any sense. I think they're all equally losers. So I don't know. Take it for what you will. All right. Well, let's see. Whoopi also just can't seem to keep her shit together ever. So Mark Cuban had something to say about Democrats. I don't really like Mark Cuban, but he said something reasonable here at least.
Trump says, the sky is blue. Trump sucks. You can't, that's not the way to win. It's just not, because it's not about Trump. It's about the people of the United States of America and what's good for them. And how do you...
Yeah, how many of these agendas are literally just block Trump and get in the way and be a problem and not actually like, hey, let's try and get X, Y, and Z done, or try and like, cater things that are happening in a way, like try and get change that's reasonable to expect and favorable to the people that voted for you versus just, hey, let's just be obnoxiously confrontational and like obtuse about everything. Like, how is that a policy? Like, it doesn't even make sense. It's like it's literally derangement.
You get them to a place where they're in a better position.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let me remind everybody who was out in the front lines marching when we had the giant marches that went on. Nope. It was the people. Mm-hmm. The people went out. They were not navel gazing. It was older people who were saying, why are you touching my Social Security? It was not people whining. It was about people saying, why are you taking these rights from my child when my child was born here? This is not...
Winning Lisa Pisa, how you doing? Welcome. Whoopi apparently... Man, I would love it if like someone on social... I mean, she's old enough. Is she on Social Security? I don't know, but... I would love someone to tell me, oh, the government fucked with X, Y, or Z thing about my Social Security, because it's not happening. They just say this. They say this shit. It's nothing happened. Nobody is impacted. Literally nothing happened. How do we keep saying this?
A bunch of whistleblowing.
It's a whistleblowing, like, to what? Is like, normally that's if something actually is happening. There's nothing happening. It's made up. I don't get it. It's just constant. It's just constantly, oh, leave my yeah, nothing happened. What are you talking about? Oh my God, like people, the only reason anyone's complaining is because of dumb people like you pushing this shit. Like, oh, why are you touching my why are you touching this? Well, it's not being touched. You're the only reason they think it is. Fucking idiot.
Not been about Democrats laying back. This has been about y'all. And when you say Democrats, he's talking to us saying our messaging is bad. And I'm saying, no, our messaging has not been bad because people have been out.
He's starting to scare me. It's like something has shifted.
I know, and her hands were kind of crazy there. I don't know. It seemed like she was really kind of psychotic there. But hands aside, like, what are you talking about? Your messaging's not bad because people came out? Well, first off, how many of those people were just paid? Uh-oh, she's going for the songs. I'm not sure if those are enabled actually right now, to be honest. But if you would like, I could put on some music. Those are more for our gaming stuff. But yeah, I don't know. She's going on and on about just crazy, like... The people that come out to these rallies, they are either A, they're paid, which obviously it doesn't matter what your message is at that point other than just... here's some money. And B, the other people are just the retards that buy your fake bullshit. So the only people that are coming out or they're just like hateful and like so just like twisted that they have nothing better to do. But I was surprised on that No Kings rally. I swear to God, it was the most surprising day for me. I went out and I had some errands to do, and these people were literally everywhere. And I had never, ever seen anything like it. And that came out of nowhere. Like, pretty much the week before, all of a sudden, people are like, No Kings rally, blah. And then there was just people everywhere. It's like, what? This doesn't even make sense. Like, clearly people got paid some dollars. And frankly, how did you even hear about that? And frankly, I think all the Republicans should sign up for that shit and then just not show up or just go drain the pool. Like, at some point, either they're going to run out of money or shit, they just want to give us all a bunch of money for no reason. Whatever, spend your money. Let's go.
Did with her, where she's actually starting to scare me now. First off, let me just address Mark Cuban for a minute, because Mark Cuban, he's sort of, I would say, a not totally insane leftist. That's that always like ever decreasing sliver of people that are kind of liberals, but they still don't know that they really should just be alongside the conservatives fighting for freedom and America and G.I. Joe and all that stuff. But he also has a degree of Trump derangement syndrome because he was wildly against Trump. He was for Kamala. He was constantly fighting with Trump surrogates during the election and everything else. And what I would say to Mark Cuban personally, is Mark, first of all, I'd love to have you on the show. We have communicated a little bit in the past, but Trump's doing a lot of stuff that you want done. You're a tech guy. You're a business guy. You're an entrepreneur. He's bringing businesses back here. He's incredibly bullish on AI and crypto and things that you care about, which we'll get to later in the show. He's getting fairer trade deals. I think, Mark, that you're probably okay with America having a border and some of the other stuff. So you're right that they need a better policy than just Trump derangement syndrome, but that's that mirror thing that I'm always talking about. But let's put that aside for a second. The Whoopi thing, I mean, she's just so confused and angry and everything else. First off, nobody touched old people's Social Security. Social Security was cut for illegals and people that don't want to work but who are able to work. And then all we asked was, could you check in twice a year if you're getting...
Oh my God, I know this stuff is so, it's like they just have to be crazy for no reason. When they read out all the things, they're like, you're exempt if you're taking care of a kid, you're exempt if you're pregnant, you're exempt if you're like over a certain age, if you're under a certain, it's literally, there's so many, it's like anyone who actually can't work, great. And then, frankly, the requirement for working is like, you can volunteer somewhere. You could go to school. You could work. But literally, it's just do something other than sit the fuck around and collect a paycheck. And it's like for such a small, well, I don't know about small, but it's for a very specific group of people that seem like they should be able to do it anyway. I don't understand why it's got to be pushed back.
Government benefits, so she completely made that up. Then she said the children's rights are being taken away. I have no idea what she's talking about.
The children's rights she's talking about are the people born here illegally from an illegal alien. They poop out a baby, and now that baby's a citizen, and now it's all traumatic. Like, oh, we can't deport them because the baby is a citizen of the U.S., blah, blah, blah. It's like, no. Let's just get all of it. Take your baby and go home with it. You know, I don't get it. And frankly, I'm glad that, like, to me, that's been like a jokey, laughy kind of like, why is America like this? Kind of like, it's clearly not meant to be like this, and yet it is. And it's been like, for how many years is this? I remember when I was a kid, people would be talking about this anchor baby crap. Social Security, you now have to do a face recognition? What? Stupid for elderly people who have dementia and can't check in 2 times a year. Yeah, I think there's a problem there that is also like, okay, well, where's the family, number one, or where, like, if a person can't take care of themselves, like at some point, either someone got to help them do these things, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, to an extent have sympathy, but yeah, exactly. There's got to be something. Like, you can't just say, okay, well, the whole system has to be broken because you got these insanely old people with dementia and they can't do anything on their own or whatever. Like, okay, yeah, that happens, but what about the other side of where, okay, all of this fraud and other things that are happening, or assuming, like obviously I don't know, but I think we want it to be more efficient, or if there's like a compromise or a third or fourth option that's just better than everything. But we can't just cater to like the lowest, like bottom 0.01% case, or that got to be some sort of exception. Like, okay, if you're over 80 years old and or have dementia, Alzheimer's, whatever, need a caretaker, whatever it ends up being, like, okay, you have maybe a different set of requirements, but I don't know. It's I mean, I would like to know the actual level of like fraud or whatever and these types of things that are happening, and if this kind of thing is justified. I feel like at the surface level it is, but I don't have like hard numbers or facts to go off as. So,
and then just this general thing with them that it's not about the policies, that somehow it's about the messaging. If they could just clean up the messaging. And no, people don't like your racist policies. They don't like your hatred.
And that's the thing. Either your policies are non-existent because it's just stop whatever Trump's doing, which doesn't even make sense, or they're focused around generally trans people. And the crazy thing is like, we got to be inclusive and da-da-da. And then it's like, oh, well, they represent such a small minority that they can't be their own thing. They need to be part of, but yet treated differently, and everyone else has to be treating them different. But they're such a small part, it's like this kind of like back and forth between they're so small and they're like so significant. And it's like, okay, well, at some point, like, come on, where are we going with this? And if your messaging only caters to such a fucking small set of people, and then the kind of the orbit around that of people that are just like brain dead and buy into all that shit, that's just not that many people. So your messaging is catering to like nobody, or it's non-existent. So even if your messaging was flawless, the things that you stand for are either non-existent or straight bullshit. So it doesn't matter.
Hatred of America. They don't like that you sit at a table with a bunch of women. I'm mostly looking at you, Sunny Hassan, but we'll get to you, Anna Navarro, in just a second, who constantly call this place horrible and judge everybody by the color of their skin, not the content of their character. But now Anna Navarro, who, I keep saying that CNN is like the receptacle now. It's the garbage receptacle for everyone that gets fired from other networks or kicked out of government or publicly shamed. If you masturbate on a Zoom camera, you get fired by CNN and then brought back in. That's Tubin. If you get kicked out of Congress, embarrassed, like who's the fat guy in Westchester, Jamal Bowman, then you get a gig at CNN and MSNBC. If you're Joy Reid, you get booted from MSNBC. You're on CNN. It's just bizarro land over there on these panel shows, except for, obviously, with a few exceptions. But
Sabrina, why is everyone scapegoating? Well, as we know, every story needs a scapegoat. Okay. And that scapegoat often is trans people, and rich people only ever do things to make everyone else's life terrible. And read between the lines, there's white in there somewhere. And we're angry and trans every day. So, I mean, if we put it all together, it's a very clear picture of America. Unfortunately. All right. Well, anyways, that's Whoopi, and of course, just nonsensical, flail your hands around and this and that, and we the people, and it's not the message. It's what? Then what? I don't know. You got what? I don't know, man. I thought this was fun. We're not going to look at a whole bunch of this, but this first opening piece is very interesting. Hunter Biden did an interview where he talked about a whole bunch of stuff, but especially his drug use and different conspiracies and stuff that he was involved in and yada, yada, yada. But let's just listen to this very first part and talk about it for a second. And what would you think about this guy for President of the United States of America? Would you think Democrats would vote for this guy? Let's check out what he has to say.
I was drinking so much alcohol, almost a handle of vodka a day. And alcohol is the most destructive drug, not just to your body, but it puts you in more danger than any other drug that I've ever experienced. And then you add on top of that the amount of crack that I was using at the time. And crack cocaine, in terms of your physical health.
All right. I don't know if anyone caught that. But I think this deserves a double check just to make sure we understand what we're talking about.
I was drinking so much alcohol, almost a handle of vodka a day. And alcohol is the most destructive drug, not just to your body, but it puts you in more danger than any other drug that I've ever experienced. And then you add on top of that the amount of crack that I was using at the time.
Like, I appreciate like what he's trying to do, and like honestly the transparency and the openness, like all of it is kind of cool, but at the same time, like it's kind of hard not to find that statement funny, like as like just as an aside, like not to mention how much crack I was doing. Like that's just not a statement you hear very often. And especially not just casually, like, oh, of course, well, you know, that's not even accounting for all the crack. It's like, oh shit. But anyway, what he's saying apparently is that alcohol is far more destructive to your mind and body and puts you in a more vulnerable position than other drugs, including crack cocaine, which I kind of struggle with a little bit, but I agree alcohol can be really not good.
And crack cocaine, in terms of your physical health, is not as dangerous as the situation that you put yourself in to be able to obtain it.
How do you get crack?
One of the things I don't want to do is give a how-to to any...
I don't know. Like you see like the zombie people on the street in Philadelphia, or what is it, Pittsburgh? I don't know. They have like a YouTube channel that just looks at the street of homeless people fucking cracked out on drugs or whatever. And I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure those people are often dead or like shitting themselves and like in the road and like I don't know. That seems maybe worse than alcohol, but yeah, I mean, and honestly, during this interview, he talks about kind of how good crack is overall and how it's like not really that bad for you. Other than the obvious, like it'll ruin your life, but like strictly speaking from like the damage it does to your body or whatever, which I don't think so. And like you can tell he's a hard drug user just because of the way he talks. Like you can tell, like, I don't know, like you can tell the nuance that, yeah, he has like brain damage from doing drugs.
Moron like myself that may think that it's a good idea. But crack cocaine is I am fully aware when I'm talking about it in relationship to my own experience with it. It is still a shocking thing for most people because we have been fed this perception of crack cocaine. It's more than just a drug. It's more than like if you say meth or if you say heroin or if you say cocaine. It comes with a whole bunch of different baggage. And because of that, places that you can go get it are some of the most dangerous places in whatever location you happen to be in. And it's everywhere. Mainly for that reason, I learned how to make my own. Have you read...
This guy looks like he's tweaking now because he's like swatting at a bee or whatever. But anyway, so if you're interested, there's this interview. Obviously, it's 3 hours long. We're not going to go through any more of it, but he does talk about his drug use. He kind of compares cocaine and like how it's different from crack and different things about it and this and that. But he also hints at, he said something kind of crazy where he's like, if he were president, he would invade El Salvador if they didn't give us back all of the people we sent there. Which I feel like he was planting a seed that he might try to run for president, number one. And number two, that he is completely batshit crazy because what, you're going to go start a war to go get back criminals we deported to El Salvador, where a lot of them like were El Salvador criminals that came here illegally? Like, really? Doesn't make any sense. So anyway, that might be another contender for the Democrats, which... Holy moly. You know, they know how to pick the winners, I swear to God.
Listen closely. Here is the real crime of the entire Biden mental acuity cover-up. An excerpt from Alex Thompson's book, out tomorrow, reveals that Biden's acuity was in question, listen to this, as far back as 2020. Check this out. This is from the campaign trail that year. Biden would sit in a room with several monitors beaming the face of real Americans in front of him. The videos came back, hours of footage. Some on the team could not believe their eyes. Quote, the videos were horrible. One top Democrat said he couldn't follow the conversation at all. Quote, I couldn't believe it, said a second Democrat. It was like a different person. It was like watching grandpa who should not be driving. So grandpa should not be driving. But campaign staffers, these are soon-to-be White House officials, told us in 2020 that then candidate Joe Biden was perfectly fit to be commander-in-chief of our armed forces. Well, what happened between 2020 and 2024? The cartels decided it was time to invade the southern border. Putin decided it was time to invade Ukraine. Hamas terrorists decided it was time to invade Israel. And then there was the fall of Afghanistan. We lost 13 American heroes at the Abbey Gate. And America's top general said that they warned Biden, do not withdraw from Afghanistan.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. And now all these people are coming out, writing books and this and that. And, you know, all of a sudden after the fact, they're like, oh, this was a cover up, a scandal, whatever. It's like, literally, you were part of it. What the fuck are you talking about? How do we see it and not see it? Do they really think they were not part of it? And this is like the disconnected, like, reality these people live in. They're just like, oh, if I just jump on the bandwagon early enough and throw everyone else under the bus, we'll just forget about what I was doing. Let's just all look at those people. Just look over there. It's crazy. I don't know, man. Well, I mean, at NDA, then they shouldn't be able to talk about it still.
I recommended that we maintain 2,500 troops in Afghanistan. And I also recommended earlier in the fall of 2020 that we were.
But I think the bigger thing here, too, is like, okay, you people were clearly lying. Like, just because you wanted to be able to not look bad for the next election, maybe? Like, I'm not even sure 100%. Like, it maybe would have a bad perception of, like, oh, look, they fucking, like, petered out at the end and, like, the necromancers ran out of necromancy. I don't know, but at the end of the day, I think if they would have just been like, yeah, he's completely insane. I don't know. I guess promoting the vice president maybe wouldn't have been a great idea, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. Like, the whole thing's just crazy. You're just going to pretend, and then once it's over, it'd be like, oh, yeah, like, yeah, everyone knew it all of a sudden. Look, it's so obvious. What? Anyway, so this kind of plays into some of the stuff we'll look at later, but now we're kind of resurfacing some old news. Like, old Trump news is becoming front and center again. But before we get to that, let's check out the trans news. Of course, they're always up to something. I thought this was kind of ridiculous. I don't really like this lady, but I feel like I don't know anyone who I've talked about. I'm like, oh yeah, I like this guy. I feel like I've called literally everyone an idiot. Literally everybody is an idiot.
Relationship? Yeah. And you're a boy, and you're a boy. So would you say that you're gay then?
Yes.
Okay. Were you born a female then? Yes. Okay.
All right, so this is a weird Asian-looking male. This is a female goth punkster boy, trans. So this is a boy and this is a girl, but this is a boy and this is a girl that believes to be a boy. So they're now this is a gay boy with a boy that's actually a girl. I don't know. So, like, so are you attracted to girls that think they're boys? Are you attracted to boys and Like, I don't know.
They're probably attracted to both.
Well, yeah, that could be. That could be. So, I don't know. It's a little bit confusing. The innie isn't an outie. Exactly! It's like, wait, you couldn't just be a normal boy and you be a normal girl and you be together? That's just out of the question? Even though that's just in fact what's actually happening? After this video, I'm not attracted to anything. I know, it's too confusing. It's too confusing. I don't understand. Make it make sense. I need help. Can someone make it make sense?
Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina. That makes sense.
Yeah, innie outie, and they go together. It's like they're made to go together, and I think, in fact, they have. They are made to go together. All right. Well, that was that, and now if we say, check out this lady.
Conservative values is better for students to learn.
My God.
Conservative values is better for students to learn, or would you say gender ideology?
Okay. Well, gender ideology. My God.
Oh my God. At least at first she had to think about it. But you'd rather have gender ideology versus conservative values? I don't know. That seems like poison. Sabrina, I don't know why this got censored, but boy who likes girls became a girl to become a lesbian. Yeah. And that's the thing. I think people just want to be a certain. They just want to say certain things and be a certain way and whatever. I work with people like this every day.
I think they just want attention.
And he still has no ideas. Yeah, it is. They want attention. They want to be different. They want to like glorify some like abnormality or like deficiency or because in a lot of cases like it's glorifying like stupidity in some case. Like people want to be like, oh, I'm special because I'm so dumb I can't literally do anything. Like, like that's cute. Like, no. No. It's cool to be a freak now. And not even just a freak, but like, you know, it's one thing to just be like, you know, counterculture or whatever. And it's another to be like, a loser, like just a straight fucking loser. Like, and I can't even like say it any, like I try and think of a more elegant way to say it, but it's like literally when it boils down, that's the best way I can describe it. I swear I can't think of anything better. So this is the problem. And it infected the older people. So even Grammy, when they go to see Grammy, she can't set the kids straight because she's fucking psycho.
Poor Grammy.
Between where today's Democrat cannot tell you the difference between boys and girls. And I got to tell you, every one of the Democrats who say they don't know what a woman is, they're all lying. All right, I can prove it to you. I'm going to prove it to you right now. I'm going to prove to you that Joe Biden knows what a woman is. I've been in the Senate 13 years. In 13 years, not once has Joe Biden come up and sniffed Chuck Schumer's hair.
Chuck Schumer, he's so weird.
He knows. And you know what? I'm even more certain Bill Clinton knows what a woman is. To absolute certainty, he knows. And the rest of the country are looking at this going, you people are crazy. You want to talk about World War
Yep. So I don't know. Somehow they can tell and not. It's the thing. They can see it but not see it. They see it and not. It's like it's conditional seeing. I don't know. What does they call that when you hear what you want to hear, right? Like selective hearing. We have selective seeing. The whole world's gone mad. I swear. Nothing makes sense anymore. And even the simple, basic. There's like truths, right? Like gravity. There's like, biology. I don't know. Things that are the way they are, and that's reality, and we've evolved for millions and billions of years, and things are a certain way, and they're made to be a certain way, and they go together a certain way. And that's the only reason why we're here today, is because everyone else was doing it that way. Because otherwise, how'd we get here? All right. Last piece of news here. I thought this was interesting. Olympics bans the trans from women's sports. Such a relief.
So the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee will bar transgender women from competing in women's sports, suggesting it's now complying with the executive order issued by the president. Here's the updated policy. Quote, U.S. OPC will continue to collaborate with various stakeholders with oversight responsibilities to ensure that women have a fair and safe competition environment consistent with Executive Order 14201. Someone who knows this very, very well is with me now. Say hello to Stephanie Turner, competitive fencer. And Stephanie, good morning to you.
Wow. How long did this take to figure out? Like, how long has this been going on for? You know what I'm saying? And how many people were like, no, we got to be fair to the super minority of people that have an overwhelming advantage, but somehow it's fair because they feel a certain way, which doesn't impact actually literally anything. I don't know, man. I'm so happy to see something like this. And when I first saw this, I'm like, oh, of course it's going to be some bullshit. And I was like, oh, no, they actually are like.
And thank you for coming on to our show today. By way of recollection, I want our viewers to know that back in late March, you were competing in an event with a transgender athlete. And we've got the video. We'll go ahead and roll it and update this with our viewers here. You took a knee and said you're not going to go on with that competition. It's the 30th of March. You take your helmet off, you shake hands, you leave the mat. It's over.
You see this, bitch? You see this one?
For 12
you
months.
See how big this one is?
Let me come back to that in a moment.
That's because that's a dude. You see how big this dude is? Bulging ass fucking everything. Just. You see how fragile this lady is? I don't know, man. This obviously fencing isn't you're not trying to hit each other with clubs or something. But holy moly, you got a beast and a freaking ginger lady over here. I think she could have taken him, but if this thing got angry and hit it, really jabbed her or something, he could do some damage. Is the key here is what could happen. I think she could definitely potentially win because this is maybe a little bit less about just raw strength, but I don't know. I'd be scared having that thing get angry at me.
Think of this decision that will certainly affect the Olympic Games in Los Angeles 2028. Are we on the right path in your mind, do you believe?
Absolutely. This is everything that I've been fighting for, and many women before me, including Riley Gaines. It's just such a relief now that common sense is prevailing finally, and we can move forward with sports and focus on the amazing, talented women who will be competing and be able to show.
And she actually got I think she either got banned or got a red card equivalent, some sort of she didn't just lose the match, she got in trouble for doing this.
showcase female athletic excellence, finally.
Gallup came up with this. This is what the American people are thinking, Stephanie. Should transgender athletes compete biological men and women's sports? And 69% say no, you should match your birth gender. It's hard to get 69% of Americans to agree on anything. What do you think of that number? What's that tell you?
That's still kind of a crazy low number to me, honestly. I mean, I would have expected it to be like in the 80s or higher, honestly, but I mean, that's almost 70%. So it's not trivial, but that is still kind of alarming to me. Like, really? You got that many fucking psychopaths? Yeah, like the Special Olympics. Yeah, exactly. You'd call it unspecial. Yeah, I don't know. They definitely would have some sort of name for it, but, and I'm sure we'd all have to make sure to call it the right thing, or we'd be fucking, you know, every sort of phobic everything, and ism and ist and whatever.
I mean, it just really shows how ludicrous this whole idea is and has been, that so many people, so many Americans truly agree that this should stop immediately. These policies should have been abandoned years ago. They should have never even been policies to begin with. But, you know, here we are, and I'm just very glad that we're finally at a point.
Well, and on top of that, like, there was executive orders stating all these things, right? Like, it's got to change, and they just want to keep fighting. It's like, it's one thing when nobody, like, really took a stand officially, and it was kind of just like turmoil and everyone was doing their own thing and whatever, but like literally now, you know for sure 100% what the official stance is on all this shit, and you're still choosing to like fight. Come on. At least with the Olympics, you know, it's not just like California insanity or something, but that's the kind of shit that we have to deal with, is these states that just don't get it, and they just I mean, honestly, the best thing he could do would be like, okay, for California specifically, sign like the reverse thing, like do the thing that they want, so that like it either causes their brain to just explode because they like literally can't comprehend either agreeing with you or going against the thing that they want, like they can't choose. And it just like blows out their brains, or like or they go against it, and it's like, fine, look, I tried to give you what you want, but you hate me so much, let's just do this instead. You know, whatever. So hallelujah, we finally got somewhere with that. Thank God. All right, how are we looking? All right, we're doing good. All right, how's everyone feeling? I need to take a sip of water. I'm going to play our opening song again, just in case anyone hasn't heard it yet. We'll be right back. Give me just 1 minute.
Captain Pav and GONxFREAKS on stage. News from RedNex, where truth is the stage. No bias here, just facts you'll see. In every corner, the world story will tell. From the streets of Paris to Tokyo's gleam, every city, every voice will hear them. No spin, no hype, just calm and serene. RedNex World News, where truth is supreme. Captain Pav and GONxFREAKS, unbiased crew, bringing you the news without a slew. RedNex World News, where truth takes flight. Every day, every night, we keep it tight.
All right, sorry about that. I just need a little bit of water. My coffee got cold. I'm very sad. I kind of want to make a new cup. All right, so
Mine's
FBI.
cold too, so I
switched.
My coffee got cold too, so I just switched to my sparkling ice.
Yeah, it's the worst. Normally, I'm good with cold. I don't know. This went cold particularly quickly. I feel like I'm very sad. All right. So apparently, L.A. Mayor Karen Bass pushed an ICE kidnapping hoax. Which is crazy, but I get it. They're so bent on just the narrative that just facts literally mean nothing. Like, they just are irrelevant, and there's no reason to bother actually investigating anything to see if it's true. Why would we do that?
There was a story that a Mexican illegal woman was kidnapped by ICE, thrown into a warehouse, being forced to self-deport, and Mayor Bass and all the...
Even this premise, this doesn't even make sense. So an illegal entrant, I'm not even going to call him an immigrant anymore, and definitely call me out if I say it. If anyone catches me, call me out on that shit. These are not illegal immigrants. These are illegal entrants. And she was kidnapped by ICE, which that didn't make sense. Okay, so if she was arrested, she would just be deported. They would deport her. They wouldn't put her in a warehouse and like threaten her and like make her self-deport like one random woman. How does any of that even, like, at a basic surface level reality check, continuity check, anything? Like, does this pass a basic reality test? No. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
The activists got behind the story because this, of course, was another example of how evil ICE is. And the family, of course, set up a GoFundMe page. I don't know, why, but there's the woman.
And then GoFundMe, I swear to God, they should be investigated or something should happen with them. Everybody, they get into a frenzy and then they open a GoFundMe. And then, I don't know, are liberals so retarded they just donate to everything? I feel like I need to make something up and pretend to be a liberal and be like, oh, GoFundMe. The Democrats, Democrats, help me. The Republicans, what? Insert what? This is like that game where you play with people. You just insert like new storyline elements that are like wacky and fun. They don't have to go together. It doesn't matter. These are just statements that are adjacent. Is there a name for that game? It's like the newspaper game or something? I don't know. Where you fill in like...
Sounds like Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah, a game like that, exactly. Where you just kind of like fill in the blanks. Like, I don't know. Help me, the Republicans did X. Come on. Anyone, throw something in. Let's see. What kind of story can we build? Interactive story time, people! They took
threw
my
me out, said that I was a Democrat.
Say again?
The Republicans, they threw me out and said that I was a Democrat.
The Republicans labeled me a Democrat. Help me. And they took my ice cube trays, but honestly, I hate ice cubes. Ugh, I think they would know I was lying. Well, I don't know. Like I said, we don't need truths. These are just wacky things. I hate ice cubes. Does anyone else hate ice cubes by chance? People call me weird. I feel like drinking room temperature beverages is much better. And only left.
That is weird.
And only my left shoes. Yes, which would be crazy annoying. I don't know if you've ever tried to put the wrong shoe on the wrong foot, but it is not comfortable. Don't ask me how I know. All right. Well, apparently the family set up a GoFundMe after making up some ridiculous BS about her being kidnapped, which, again, okay. And what is the evidence? You just supply some random photo? What, is this her in the warehouse? Supposedly, is this the ransom note that they left at your door? Like, what? What are we talking about?
It turns out she's
She's just so important that ISIS is going to go kidnap this lady and just torture her. I don't know, man. Like, come on.
She's got to be a mafia mom or something.
Clearly. Like, this is cartel lady or something. Like, I swear to God, it doesn't make sense.
They found her. She got a check in the box. Yeah. She was not deported. She was not thrown into some sort of, warehouse facility. Nobody forced her to self-deport, although now she's in a lot of big trouble.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, Rachel, Democrats created this narrative that ICE is the Gestapo.
Where did they find her?
She was not thrown into a. They found her. She was at a Jack in the Box.
Yeah,
she was not
Jack in the
deported. She was
Box,
not thrown
which
into.
I'm pretty sure that's like Burger King, right? That's pretty much Burger King. But they're not allowed to call it Burger King. It's like the Burger King equivalent of McDonald's to McDonald's. Because McDonald's is allowed to be McDonald's everywhere. Oh, yeah, maybe she got the Epstein files. Holy crap. You're on to something, Bobby.
Damn it, Bobby. You knew it all along.
You're breaking the news. News is breaking here, people. But, yeah, Department of Homeland Security mocks Los Angeles mayor for pushing allegedly fake ICE kidnapping story. So she was at a fucking Burger King, just chowing down, probably getting a senior coffee or something.
Having it her way.
Yeah, what the hell? I feel she might or might not be a senior, but I don't think anyone would question her, and she'd be like, no English, and she'd be like, clueless, and be like, give me the coffee. It's only 37 cents or whatever. Shit, man.
To some sort of, warehouse facility. Nobody forced her to self-deport, although now she's in a lot of big trouble.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, Rachel, Democrats created this narrative that ICE is the Gestapo, that ICE is evil, and that they're kidnapping and disappearing people. And they wanted an example. So that's why Mayor Bass on July 1st leaned in, put her picture up, and tweeted this. She's a mother from L.A., taken out of her car on her way to work, and then held in a warehouse as officers.
A mother from L.A. taken out of her car on her way to work, and then held in a warehouse as officers hoped she would self-deport. No hearing, just fear. This doesn't make anyone safer. And all these people were out on the street with these signs, find my mom, blah, blah, blah. And like, these are not even the people. This is like just a sign that says our mom is missing. Your mom is not missing, actually. Yeah, I don't know. They had all these people out protesting, and then the mayor, just all this bullshit, lies, nonsense, hate.
I mean, what that lady was wearing, is that what she was wearing to work?
What?
The photo of the lady you just showed, the one that got quote unquote kidnapped.
Oh, yeah, exactly. She's on her way to work.
Is that what she was wearing to work?
Oh, yeah, this one? Yeah, exactly. Is this like sweat? Like, what is going on here? Why are you so wet right here? That's crazy. Hey, what kind of shoes are these? These are like, just like a big bubble.
Those are like slippers. Those are like house slippers.
Oh. Yeah, this is, well, I mean, she works at this would be, let me think. Where, I don't know. Where would you dress like this to go to work? Interesting. Anyone know?
Clean homes or something? Clean homes?
Yeah, cleaning.
Houses?
Yep, clean. Maybe there's like 6 babies that puke on you all day and you just don't give a shit.
You can just throw them in the washing machine and be done with it. Yeah.
Throw the babies in the washing machine?
I didn't say the babies. I was talking about the house slippers. Don't you dare turn this around on me. I'll start screaming at you.
Yeah. Oh, she was chasing down some kids and beating their booties for running through the house. That could be. Maybe she was hitting them with her slippers and that's why they're all messed up. Yeah, they look like Mickey Mouse shoes. That's what I'm saying. They look like there's like a big bubble right here to me. Like
looks
a
like
big
a black
old
cat
Mickey
with a
Mouse
white
bubble.
eye.
No, the shoes. Oh, yeah, the shoes. And then who's this dog? I don't know.
Up and tweeted this. She's a mother from L.A. taken out of her car on her way to work and then held in a warehouse.
So anyway, this is
self-deport. No
what
hearing,
we get to
just
deal
fear.
with.
This doesn't make anyone
I think
safer.
she's actually.
But here's the problem. She faked
charged.
her kidnapping, and DHS called him out yesterday, tweeting this: "Mayor, you pushed a hoax. There is still time to delete this. This woman was never arrested or kidnapped by ICE or bounty hunters. This criminal illegal alien scammed innocent Americans for money and diverted limited DHS resources from Los Angeles."
Scamming innocent Americans for money and diverting resources. Yep, so you're an illegal, stupid bitch that wants to complain that someone... Okay, why would you even, like, draw attention to yourself, number one? And how do you think this ends? Like, they're just gonna be like, oh, I guess we did we kidnapped? Yep. Yeah, we did that. Sorry. Like, here's some money for your trouble. Like, I don't understand. Or that they would just ignore it, or she would come home like a week later and like see how much the GoFundMe made. Like, I don't understand. And then like people would just forget about it. I don't understand what the end game is. Was there even an end game, or were you just like, oh, wouldn't it be cool to just pretend to be kidnapped? Did someone pay you to do this? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
I think that's called caught red-handed.
Yeah.
It really is amazing. Democrats are so snake-bit when they pick these their poster children.
See, those are the people rallying for her, by the way. Free Yuli.
And it's all completely made up on the internet, which is pretty comical. But they try, they're trying to make it look like some sort of scene out of Breaking Bad, where ICE agents came in but this is in the first one, whether Democrats are rallying around a Maryland dad or whoever else their victims are.
Were those all just
in the first
white
one, trying to make
people?
it
Were
look like
these
some, and it's all
even, like,
completely
any
made up on the
Hispanic
internet.
People rallying for her, by the way. Free Yuli.
And it's all completely made up on the internet, which is pretty comical.
maybe
But they try,
one.
they're trying to make it look like some sort of scene out of Breaking Bad, where ICE agents came in but this is in the first one, whether Democrats are rallying around a Maryland dad or whoever else their victims are. The problem is that
they had the Maryland dad. Now they got the LA mom who got ripped out of her car on the way to work for the 10 children who throw up on her all day but love her Mickey Mouse shoes. So that's why she looks like a complete fucking degenerate. Oh my God. Yeah, someone passed out those signs for sure. Oh my God. Pale white guy with the Find My Mom sign. I know. Tom gonna bust her ass up out of here. Yeah. Exactly. Where's Tom Homan? He should have been the first one on the spot. Been like, nope, we're shutting this down. And we're gonna arrest Mayor Bass for being a bitch. She go back to Cuba. Fuck. All right. Well, this was cool. They tracked down one of these crazies from the ICE raids. More ICE news here.
Remember this in this video that went viral during the anti-ICE riots in LA about a month ago. The man suspected of throwing rocks on your screen repeatedly at those federal vehicles is now under arrest. From Los Angeles, William.
Oh, look at this guy. Habibi! Oh my God! What is this like?
This has got the follow-up, and William, good morning to you.
I couldn't tell where they were.
Hey, good morning, Bill. It took a few weeks because the suspect was hiding in Mexico. But you're right, it was back.
The suspect was hiding in Mexico. Interesting. So you want to cause a whole bunch of problems, talk about how bad the U.S. is, blah, 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 cause all these issues, and then go hide in Mexico. You little bitch, punk bitch, little bitch, bitch. Bitch. I don't even know how else to say it to be more plain than that, but Jesus. What the hell is going on here?
Back in June, when ICE and Border Patrol agents assembled near a Home Depot, when word spread that they were there, activists rushed to the scene and assaulted them, throwing glass bottles and chunks of cement. But I also want you to take a look at this. From inside the SUV, you can see the bricks shattering the window, right? So as they attempted to leave, this man in the motorcycle helmet, concealing his face so he doesn't want to be identified, pelted their cars from close range with concrete blocks, injuring one agent. The FBI put him on the most wanted list. Police identified the rock thrower as Elpidio Reina, 39, of Compton, now charged with assaulting a federal officer.
I'm kind of interested how they identify these people. Sometimes the footage they have is so bad. It's like there's no way that was it. Clearly, I don't know, maybe it was, but holy crap. Sometimes what they have to work with or they say they're working with, it's that's 18 pixels of blur. What are you even talking about? And you can tell it's this guy? Holy moly. I don't know, man. So, anyway, I say hallelujah. I hope they go after all these people. Anyone who've been doing all this bullshit, go back, get every single one of them, show them that this is not at all acceptable. deal with it, and then it's dealt with. You know what I'm saying? Like, the next people that come along and be like, you remember what happened? They thought nothing was going to happen, and then they came, and then they got everybody, and then they're not going to do it again. Yeah, exactly. They got the old 2000 camera phone, just like, holy crap. It's just like, it's pixels, that it's like abstract art or something. And somehow, I don't know, maybe he like took his helmet off when was doing, or I don't know how they like, well, I guess his clothes are the same, so I don't know.
Tattoos.
Yeah, something. But I'm glad they got him. There you go. Because those rocks, like, you can easily kill, like, if that goes through the window and actually hits them in the head, that will kill them. So you are like assault with a deadly weapon 100%. And frankly, they should, I don't know. It might be a little extreme, but they should have like shot those people as they went by or something. Like, the next car, like, stop, get out, and just shoot those people and then keep driving. I don't know. I'm pretty sure the rocks would stop flowing after the first couple people got killed. Them shits can see my license plate going through 65 on a stoplight, but not good images of this. Yeah. Yep. I mean, cameras everywhere. I mean, that's the thing too. Like, all those stoplights they can pull from, and like, there's cameras all over the place, really. So you never know when, you know, when is it safe to take off the helmet, right? Like, who knows how long they can track you for before you can get away. Cutting watermelon. Oh, geez. Yeah, I don't really like watermelon either, to be honest. It's okay. Like, I'll eat it if it's there. Like, I'll have some bites. But overall, it's definitely on my the lower end of my is that a fruit? I don't know.
I mean, you don't like watermelon chicken and grits?
All together? Are they normally like together when they're eaten?
I mean, a certain group of individuals like to eat it that way.
I'm weird for what? Not liking watermelon? Can't take a poop in the woods without being filmed? Exactly. And even then, like, they probably got 6 angles. Like, they can see, they can recreate a 3D, you know, when you do like the house tour from like 6 photos, they can like fill it in so you can do the 3D.
A Fox News exclusive.
Yeah. What is this one? Okay, more ICE. Hospital workers that were blocking ICE arrests hit with federal charges.
All right, Emily, thank you. Breaking this hour, a Fox News exclusive. A pair of medical workers who blocked ICE agents from arresting an illegal immigrant in California are now facing criminal charges. Hello and welcome, everyone. I'm Sandra Smith in New York.
Good.
That exclusive reporting from our own Bill Malugin, who we have the pleasure of joining us today. Bill, great to see you.
Hey, Sandra, great to see you as well. Happy Friday to you. I'm Bill Malugin here in Los Angeles. This is America Reports. This is reporting we just got within the last hour or so. The 2 suspects here now both facing federal obstruction charges, and law enforcement sources confirming to Fox News one of them was arrested earlier this morning.
Yeah, Chief Correspondent Jonathan Hunt, he's got the very latest for us live right now. Jonathan, what are we learning?
Oh, they left the Karen. They went for the brown one. They need to go after more Karens. That was too obvious.
Good afternoon, Sandra. Well, this incident happened on July 8th in Ontario, about 30 miles east of Los Angeles. According to the criminal complaint, ICE officers were conducting, quote, roving immigration-related operations when they followed a truck that made a sharp turn into the parking lot of a surgery center. The officers then, quote, decided to conduct a consensual encounter with the 3 adult males who were inside the truck. 2 of them ran. One, who according to the ICE affidavit was, quote, later identified as an illegal alien, ran into the surgery center, and that's where staff at the center got involved. 2 of those staff, Jose de Jesus Ortega and Danielle
Nadine Devere have now been charged for allegedly interfering and trying to block the ICE agents who followed the illegal immigrant into the surgery center. In the video, they could be seen and heard questioning the ICE agents' actions, what they are doing in the center, and why they are masked. The complaint says Devere, quote, wedged herself under Officer 1 and the target alien. And it says, quote, Ortega, who was still standing to Officer 1's left, appeared to grab Officer 1's arm and then his vest. Both Ortega and Devere shouted at the officer, telling him to, quote, get out and to, quote, let him go. Both were warned by the officer that they should not touch a federal agent. The illegal immigrant was eventually arrested and removed from the surgery center. Immigration activists said at the time the surgery staff did nothing wrong.
Yeah, I'm not sure what surgery center means. It might be, I don't know. Like, how is it separate from a hospital? But yeah, I don't know. It's like they ran into the ER or something. I'm not sure, but maybe California's got something different out there. But it's, yeah, why would you wedge yourself between, and frankly, how do you know the other guy's not dangerous? Like, how do you know the guy they were chasing wasn't like armed or didn't just kill someone literally? Like, who the fuck knows? You're like literally just in. Oh, why? Who are you, this masked person? Who am I that's wearing a vest that says very clearly police, ICE? Like, hold on. What does it say? Yeah, police, ICE. Yeah, I mean, technically he could be impersonating, but I don't know. That's a pretty good impersonation. And he's going after what seems to be an illegal. I mean, this could just be, I guess, some random cosplayer in a ICE what do you call it? Outfit. I can't think of what I'm. Uniform. And he just happened to pick some random person of like non-obviously white descent and just started harassing him. I mean, there's probably a very small, like extremely small percentage that's what's happening here, but not enough to warrant wedging yourself in between what could be a violent armed. That guy could have a knife ready to stab you. Who knows? This is crazy. Literally crazy. Outpatient surgery. Oh, so this is like more of the lightweight stuff that they don't need like to stay and be monitored or something, maybe. I need to learn English. I know, I feel like that too sometimes.
Warned by the officer that they should not touch a federal agent. The illegal immigrant was eventually arrested and removed from the surgery center. Immigration activists said at the time the surgery staff did nothing wrong.
In no way are they intervening. They're simply exercising the right to privacy. They're exercising the right to know who is in their building. They're exercising the right to know who is in this building with a weapon, right? And I think it's important to note that
Oh my God. I think the second you see the person, you can tell who the fuck it is. Like, what line of questioning is going to lead you anywhere? Like, if you're actually that concerned, like, you could, I don't know how you call ICE or whatever and say, hey, can you verify this guy or whatever? But like with police, you could just call the police and be like, hey, is this guy actually a police officer? So I don't know. There's definitely a way, and frankly, you are not it's not like some random person completely unmarked, like brandishing a gun at someone, acting all crazy. It's like literally, how is that not extremely obvious who this is and what they're doing? And frankly, if he's pursuing someone into your establishment who also entered illegally, why weren't you concerned about that person frantically running in, escaping from a federal officer? Like, why is that not a bigger concern? How is that narrative not a bigger concern to you?
Why are they going in with mask? Didn't they say something about mask?
Yeah, well, the ICE agent has a mask on. And so, I don't know, man. This is all just... It's again a convenient narrative and whatever, like we couldn't possibly know what is happening here, and this guy with a weapon just randomly assaulting someone, and we're all afraid for this guy's life. But like, clearly, if you thought this guy was a bad guy and he had a gun, you're gonna wedge yourself in there? Really? You believe this guy's a bad guy, and you're going to wedge yourself in between him and the person he is currently attacking and you think something good is going to happen. Oh my God, it's just such nonsense. Like nothing, like it's all so surface level. It's just maddening. All right, now we're getting into more of the flipping the script a little bit. So that was some ICE updates. I'm so happy they are just going after these idiots that are attacking them and just doing everything they can. But Trump, unfortunately, is being a little bit sussy, and we have to call it out. We can't just give him a free pass on everything. When he's sussy, he's sussy. And we talked about it last week. There was the Megyn Kelly thing with Charlie Kirk, and then Trump in the office just kind of like came unglued a little bit about being asked about Epstein, and Pam Bondi was like so happy to talk about it more and this and that. It's just all crazy. But at the end of the day, apparently Trump still supports Pam Bondi, and more or less that rhetoric has died down. But you know, sacrificing her to the wolves or whatever, that doesn't seem to be that's not going to happen. But I don't know. Now we just have this like crazy pivot where everything is like, don't worry about Epstein. It was, we're going to give you, like literally the narrative, we are going to give you everything. You're going to have everything. It's so much like explicit names and this and that and everything. And it's going to be like tomorrow. Like literally, this is literally what they were saying. This isn't even exaggerated. This is literally what they were saying. And then it all of a sudden became, who's talking about this still? Like, what? You were just talking. You literally were just talking. What do you mean, who's still? You! So this is the see it, but you can't see it. But apparently it's infected the Republicans. I don't get it.
Deputy Attorney General has reached out to Ghislaine Maxwell's attorney asking for a new interview.
Yeah, I don't know about it, but I think it's something that sounds appropriate to do. Yeah.
How does this all of a sudden sound appropriate to do, but also why is anyone talking about it? Like nothing adds. There is no cohesive thing, and that's why. I mean, you know, clearly something funny is going on here, but it's like there's no cohesive narrative. And there can't be, because it went from like such an extreme of like transparency and like release of everything to like literally stop talking about it. Like, doesn't make any sense.
I don't really follow that too much. It's sort of a witch hunt, just a continuation of the witch hunt. The witch hunt that you should be talking about.
How is that not promoting something, you neo-nerd? Or whatever your name is, Nertho Herd. You literally just said not trying to promote anything, but then you're saying, come check it out. All right, well, at any rate, Trump now is back on all the old news, which I'm not saying there's anything necessarily wrong with that, because you shouldn't just let things go just because they're in the past, I guess. But I don't know the relevancy, honestly. Like, we'll look at a few more things with this, but so now we're going back to Obama and Hillary Clinton. But, I mean, at the same time, fair is fair. They didn't leave him alone. They kept going after him after he was out. So it's like, some of the arguments are kind of crazy.
Is they caught President Obama absolutely cold, Tulsi Gabbard. They tried to rig the election, and they got caught. And there should be very severe consequences for that. It's there. He's guilty. This was treason.
President Trump has a long history.
And then this weirdo, first off, who the fuck are you? You look, I don't know. He's kind of creepy to me. And his audio sucks. And I don't know how these big studios can't figure out how to get their audio working correctly. It's crazy.
Of accusing former President Obama of committing crimes while not specifying how exactly those crimes were supposedly committed.
What are you talking about, you idiot? There's a whole thing about exactly what happened, and we're going to look at that too, but you're such a fucking idiot. What are you talking about?
So in this case, he kept saying Obama was caught. His name was on a document, didn't specify what Obama was caught doing, and did
Yeah, he does. You idiot.
not say what document he was talking about. So it's a bit difficult to fact check, but I think there's a strong chance he's talking about something highlighted by a director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, that refers to an email post-election in 2016 where the member of the intelligence community said the president had directed the intelligence community to come up with a new assessment of how Russia had attempted to use tools to intervene in the 2016 election. So two things about that. First of all, that is post-election. That is pre-inauguration, but post-election. So it would not be an election rigging effort, as President Trump specified. And second of all, the president directing the intelligence community to assess Russian interference is simply not treason. There is very little there. There continues to be analysis by this current administration of what.
I don't even know what any of that has to do with anything, honestly. He's just like saying things to say things. I mean, I feel like these people, like, does he have something in his head that he believes that he's trying to communicate, like, or is he just saying nonsense to say nonsense? I don't know. But as we'll see, there's apparently a whole bunch of stuff coming out around this now. And I thought it was interesting. I was listening to something else, and they were talking about, wouldn't it be interesting if they're like, hey, aliens exist, and here's evidence just to avoid Epstein. And probably people would probably be more interested in aliens, honestly, and it just ignore it. So it could work. We might be learning about aliens soon, people.
What happened back then, but
all right, this guy's an idiot. I've never seen this before, but I thought it was interesting. During one of Trump's depositions, he said something very interesting. And honestly, well, let's not jump ahead of it. Let's hear what he has to say.
When you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Grab them by the pussy. You can do anything. That's what you said, correct?
Well, historically, that's true with stars.
It's true with stars that they can grab women by the pussy?
Well, if you look over the last million years, I guess that's been largely true, not always.
Oh my God. And he's just like, you look at his face. It's just like, well, yep. Oh my God. I've never seen this before. He's like, if you look back over the last million years, what does that even mean? What are you talking about?
But largely true. Unfortunately or fortunately.
We have to see this again. I don't look at his face the whole time.
This in a deposition.
When you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Grab them by the pussy. You can do anything. That's what you said, correct?
Well, historically, that's true with stars.
It's true with stars that they can grab women by the pussy?
Well, if you look over the last million years, I guess that's been largely true. Not always, but largely true. Unfortunately or fortunately.
So, all the absurdities aside, like, clearly this whole thing is like just such a bizarre series of just everything. But I think if we look foundationally, and I think there's a couple key, like, very key components here. Like, this yes, gets into the minutia. This is very minutia filled, okay? This is filled with minutia. Women let. So he is talking about something consensual. He is not talking about something not consensual. Which to me, I think is an important distinguisher. He's not saying he just goes around molesting people. And I think this is like a touchy subject, but I feel like what he's trying to say is that like groupies, right? Like you get people at the bands, they're just like, you know, they just want to, you know, whatever. They would definitely let the band touch them, let alone anything else. And it's kind of the same if you're like a celebrity and you're like, oh, this like movie star like finds me attractive or whatever, or like grabbed me a certain way or whatever, like potentially is complimentary in kind of a bizarre, weird way. Or even in fact wanted, like like you said, it's like these people were like, you know, it's like kind of like a kinky thing, like, oh, like this famous movie star or rock star or whatever is doing this, like giving me a little spank on the butt or something. Like, I don't know, like obviously that's a little bit further what he's saying, but it's like there's like a fine line. I think it's like we're towing the line extremely hard, like we are really jamming the toes in there and seeing what happens. But I think foundationally there is some wiggle room to what he's saying. Yeah, that's our president. But yes, it is quite bizarre. All right, so here's more specifically. Should we look at that first? Yeah, all right, we'll look at this first and see what Tulsi Gabbard has to say about all this.
On another matter, over the past few days, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard has unveiled shocking new evidence that former President Barack Obama and top aides in the Obama administration conspired to subvert President Trump's 2016 election victory and undermine the democratic will of the American people. While publicly pretending to engage in a peaceful transfer of power, in private, former President Obama went to great and nefarious lengths to try to sow discord among the public and sabotage his successor, President Trump. The new evidence released by the Director of National Intelligence, who is here with me today, confirms that the Obama administration manufactured politicized intelligence, which was later used as the justification for baseless smears against President Trump in an effort to try to delegitimize his victory before he even took the oath of office. The truth is that President Trump never had anything to do with Russia, and the Russia collusion hoax was a massive fraud perpetuated on the American people from the very beginning. And the worst part of this is Obama knew that truth, and so did all of the other corrupt officials involved in this scam, including former CIA Director John Brennan, former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper, former FBI Director James Comey, former Deputy Director Andrew McCabe, and many others.
Guess which student has a better chance of getting into an Ivy League school? First, take a look at Zach. He's valedictorian, national.
Director of National Intelligence Gabbard's report further confirms what we already knew. There was no collusion, no corruption, except on the part of Barack Obama and the weaponized intelligence agencies.
All right, so the story here is they kept pushing Russia interfered with the election, this, that, and the other thing, even though all of the reports given to them stated plainly that there was not actually any evidence of that. So despite that, they continued to push it. And not only that, like escalated it from like, oh, there may have been to there is definitively proof of. And I think that's where it kind of, you know, it goes from like rhetoric to like disingenuous, just lying effectively, right?
At the time, the Russia hoax was a blatant lie, all ginned up by Democrat political operatives that were signed off on by then President Obama and leaked to the news media to launch a years-long witch hunt against President Trump and his first administration. Allies of the president, including his own son, Donald Trump Jr., were disgustingly smeared as Russian assets, and some even had their lives destroyed because of this vicious lie. The president's first 2 years in office had this fake distraction hanging over it, and endless resources, time, and political capital were spent having to debunk these lies from the highest levels of our government. Now, nearly 10 years later, thanks to the declassification of documents by Director Gabbard, the truth has finally come to light. And this truth vindicates President Trump, his family, and his many allies and associates who were smeared with defamatory lies. President Trump was right from the beginning about all of this, and we are grateful that justice can be served. Now, we have even more damning evidence implicating those who tried to sabotage a duly elected president and did grave material harm to our republic. Thanks to additional important work done by CIA Director Ratcliffe, Committee Chairman Rick Crawford over the past few months, a newly declassified 2020 report prepared by the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence, which DNI Director Gabbard has declassified, found that the intel community did not have any direct information that Russian President Vladimir Putin wanted to help elect President Trump in 2016. And in fact, Russia was actively preparing for a Hillary Clinton victory. But at the
So that was the other part of it, actually, is they were expecting Hillary to win and potentially had information on her that they were waiting to release till she had won to break down her credibility as the active president. Now, that part, I would say you could probably chuck into the more conspiracy side, but at a minimum, if they're saying there's literally, they didn't have really a reason to even, why would they want Trump to win? And they were expecting her to win. So, how would there be interference? That doesn't even make sense. Those don't go together.
The unusual direction of Barack Obama at the time, the intel community published implausible intelligence suggesting otherwise. Why? To sabotage the incoming president. This is truly one of the greatest political scandals in American history. And reporters at legacy outlets, some of which are sitting in this room today, like the New York Times and the Washington Post, were ridiculously awarded Pulitzer Prizes for their perpetuation of this hoax. It's well past time for those awards to be stripped from the journalists who receive them. It is not journalism to propagate political disinformation in service of the Democrat Party and those in the intelligence community who hand over out of context and fake intelligence to push a false political narrative. I will now pass it over to the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, to speak more about all of this, and then we will open it up for questions afterwards. Tulsi, thank you for being here.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. At President Trump's direction and with the support and coordination of the House Intelligence Committee Chairman Rick Crawford, today we've released a declassified oversight majority.
I love this diagram. It's like they're trying to put together that crazy person board or whatever, and tying together all the things. I feel like this is not the right theme. The theme of this board is well, I guess it's conspiratorial, but you're trying to show that they've put together conspiracies, and you've done it in a way that looks like you've created a conspiracy. This looks like they've created a conspiracy against Obama. So I feel like the way they've the theme of this message is backwards.
Majority staff report that was produced in September of 2020. The stunning revelations that we are releasing today should be of concern to every American. This is not about Democrats or Republicans. This has to do with the integrity of our democratic republic and American voters having faith that the votes cast will count. There is irrefutable evidence that detail how President Obama and his national security team directed the creation of an intelligence community assessment that they knew was false. They knew it would promote this contrived narrative that Russia interfered in the 2016 election to help President Trump win, selling it to the American people as though it were true. It wasn't. The report that we released today shows in great detail how they carried this out. They manufactured findings from shoddy sources. They suppressed evidence and credible intelligence that disproved their false claims. They disobeyed traditional tradecraft intelligence community standards and withheld the truth from the American people. In doing so, they conspired to subvert the will of the American people who elected Donald Trump in that election in November of 2016. They worked with their partners in the media to promote this lie, ultimately to undermine the legitimacy of President Trump and launching what would be a years-long coup against him and his administration. We're here today because the American people deserve the truth, they deserve accountability, and they deserve justice. The records that we released on Friday that were ODNI records, Senator Chuck Grassley's release on Monday of what is known as the Clinton Annex, which was an appendix to the Department of Justice Office of Inspector General's 2018 report, as well as the House Intelligence Committee's majority oversight report that we're releasing today, all come back to and confirm the same report. There was a gross politicization and manipulation of intelligence by the Obama administration intended to delegitimize President Trump even before he was inaugurated.
All right. So she goes on to kind of lay things out, but to kind of give an idea of how this is being presented and currently and even when we look back at the other one with CNN, that guy was talking about, there's no evidence, this, that, and the other thing. It's after the election, but pre-inauguration and this, that, and getting into this weird, okay, what is anything? What are you talking about? If we look, this is CNN. This is a live stream, right? So the White House does a lot of these, and she's live. And then CNN, when she comes live, cuts in so that you can't hear what she's saying.
Happens at CNN. Here's cut number 2. Check this out.
Multiple intelligence community assessments released in the months leading up to the November 2016 election concluded that Russia had neither the intent nor capability to impact the outcome of the U.S. election. On December 5th,
So it's interesting. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but there's kind of two things here. One, there was a blip And I imagine that's the guy trying to like jump into the audio stream or something, but it kind of like cuts off where it says U.S. election. It just says election. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but let's back that up a little bit.
Had neither the intent nor capability to impact the outcome of the U.S. election. On December 5th.
We've been listening there to the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, continuing on what has now been a multi-day effort, not only with public statements like this, but release of documents to attempt to back up the quite extreme allegation that...
And I don't know if you can tell, like, how he's talking is like he's intentionally kind of like he doesn't really know necessarily anything that he needs to say right now, but he does know he needs to kind of, you know, let's just kind of fill up the space here because we gotta keep talking. So, holy crap. Exactly. It sounds like someone was like, oh shit! Say anything!
President Obama is guilty of treason and that he worked in some sort of conspiracy with Hillary Clinton, etc., in the assessment by the intelligence community at the time that Russia interfered in the 2016 election.
Yeah, they are trying, like you wouldn't believe, to try and spin their way out of it because guess what? That's their guy. That's their guy.
So let's not just listen to what she has to say. Let's tell you what you need to think about what she's saying. Right? You're literally live. She's trying to tell you from her own freaking mouth what the hell's going on. But no, we gotta panic, and you gotta tell me, you gotta chat GPT summarize this for me so I don't have to think. Let's just talk over her, and I'll tell so that you think you're hearing what she's, because you could see her and her mouth's moving, and you can kind of hear something in the background. But pay attention to what this guy's saying because he knows better. Holy crap. He can tell me what she's saying. I can't just listen to what she's saying.
There's a lot of key buzzwords there, KDJ.
Yep. Holy mo, conspiracy.
Yeah.
We love that one.
Extreme efforts to convince people that, it doesn't stop.
No, it doesn't stop.
And they're going to keep spinning this as if it's not a true story, which we know it is.
Right. And they weren't done there. And what's amazing is that every time they say this, they don't say anything about, well, you know, it's not that Obama didn't do it. You know, they just try and it's just some crazy conspiracy.
Well, we heard Mueller say it too.
Right.
We've heard Mueller say we were given the order from Obama to get this intelligence and, you know, and acted like it was a credible form of evidence when it was fully manufactured, which they basically dug their own grave here. There's so much evidence of them propagandizing this entire hoax.
Right.
I think they just assumed they were just going to keep control and it wouldn't matter. No one would ever find out because they would just stay suppressed. No one would ask about it. And the people that did would be in the minority and it wouldn't matter. It's crazy.
The election to elect Trump is the end of our democracy. Votes were definitely
Well, I know,
affected.
but you're not
Russia hacked the
correct.
election to tilt it to Mr. Trump.
The Russians defend.
And this is the thing. Oh my God, all these people.
Election to elect Trump is the end of our
but you-
democracy.
every-
Votes were definitely
Well, I know,
affected.
but you're not
Russia hacked the
correct.
election to tilt it.
Votes were definitely affected. Russia hacked the election to tilt it towards Trump. Breaking news.
To Mr. Trump.
The
CNN.
Russians definitively hacked the election.
Russians definitively hacked the election. CNN.
Did hack the election.
Russia did hack the election. CBS.
No doubt. The Russians hacked the election.
Yes.
No doubt. I mean, who was even saying that? Who's this guy with his hand up but is not the one talking?
No doubt. The Russians hacked the election.
What the fuck? What is this? Like, we're showing this guy, like, oh yeah, under oath. We're in the Senate. But he's not even the one saying it. It's like the
Yes. Russia hacked the election.
Fact. Russia.
fact. CNN. Fact. CNN. Fact. CNN. Wait. Fact? Wait. CNN? Wait a minute. Russia hacked the election. Hold on. Hold on. Wait a minute. CNN. Fact.
Wait for it.
Let me see if I can put this together. I'm slow. I don't know if you've all noticed this by now. It takes me a minute sometimes. Things don't make sense.
Said it on us.
Russia hacked the election. If you can get him to accept that Russia hacked the election, see if you can get him to accept who won the Civil War.
If he
What does that mean? What does that mean? Stephen Colbert used to be funny. I don't know. Now he's just a complete piece of shit idiot. I don't get it.
admits it, it casts a shadow on his victory over Hillary Clinton.
Russia hacked the election.
Russia. Who said that? Hold on. Who just said that?
Clinton.
Russia.
MSDNC. Wait a minute. Russia? Wait a minute. Aren't you? Wait. Who are you? Is this a Russian? Russia. Look at his hands. He's very sure. He's telling us something important here. Do you see his hands? Will Trump's Russia views hurt Tillerson in hearings? Trump's Russia views, interesting, has challenged the intelligence community. Interesting.
Hacked the election.
Russia hacked the election.
Up! CNN, Russia hacked the election.
Russia hacked the election.
Oh, did you see her hands? Hold on. Just to make sure if everyone sees her hands. MSDNC.
Hacked the election.
Right. They hacked the election. Hold on. Did you see her hands? MSDNC.
Russia hacked the election.
Let's be clear, Russia hacked the election.
Definitively.
Russia hacked the election.
Definitively. CNN. Mueller indicts 12 Russian agents ahead of Trump-Putin summit. CNN. Definitively.
Election, and Russia is doing it again now.
And they're doing it again now. This is definitive, people. Yes, hands are very important. I'm glad you're following, Bobby.
Election-related cyber hacking.
Cyber hacking of U.S. elections.
Cyber hacking! It got upgraded. It's cyber hacking. We've been cyber hacked by Russia. Definitively.
Hacking of the election.
Russia was cyber hacking the election.
Russia was cyber hacking the election. MSDNC.
Russia was cyber hacking the election.
Russia was doing it.
CIA, the FBI, NSA.
All of these intelligence organizations,
17 intelligence agencies,
all conclude that Russia hacked the election.
All the agencies conclude, every single one of them. Just ask them. Well, don't actually do that because they won't say that. Don't do it. Okay?
I'm gonna do it.
But trust me, they're all saying it. Just don't ask them. Do not ask them.
If we find out that Donald Trump just theoretically was colluding with Russia while they were hacking the election, that is completely...
Oh, while they were hacking the election, now the part that is theoretical is, was he colluding with them? Was it like a coordinated effort with him and Russia, or was it just Russia doing it by themselves? Because that part we're guaranteed we know for sure 100%. Russia cyber hacked our election. Okay?
Impeachable.
This dossier alleged a conspiracy between the Trump campaign and the Russian effort to hack the election.
The director of national intelligence, the head of the National Security Agency, the head of the FBI, all
of them. Every one of them. Do you understand right now, people? Don't ask them. Don't have them on here talking about it. Do not try and have them talk. Do not have them on here to talk about it. But they're all saying it, okay? Are we following?
Of these intelligence experts saying Russia hacked the intelligence. Russia hacked
CNN. It's true.
The election.
The FBI, the CIA, the NSA, the former director of national intelligence, James Clapper. I mean, they've all said this. So to believe that that's wrong, you have to believe they're all involved in a.
Oh, interesting. And that apparently is the less likely of the evils, huh?
An elaborate conspiracy to get Donald Trump, which seems a little far-fetched.
How is that more far-fetched than Russia hacking our election? I don't get it.
Russia hacking the election to elect.
So, anyway, that is related to what Tulsi is saying. I just wanted to throw that in there real quick.
Ultimately usurping the will of the American people. I'm going to go over the key findings from the House Intelligence Report, which investigated the claims that were made.
Dan Casey, panic-proof retirement. This guy is.
So remember, all of those head of every single agency, I don't remember, this was just moments ago, but I'm not sure if we forgot already. Every agency, literally every one of them, every single you could think of, they all agree, okay? Like 19 of them, okay? And literally every single one of them, okay?
The assessment ordered by President Obama and published in January of 2017. First, Putin's principal interests relating to the 2016 election were to undermine faith in the U.S. democratic process, not show any preference of a certain candidate. In fact, this report shows Putin held back from leaking compromising material on Hillary Clinton prior to the election, instead planning to release it after the election to weaken what Moscow viewed as an inevitable Clinton presidency.
Interesting. So they colluded to help Trump, but they feel like despite that, Hillary anyway is going to win. So like, why?
In the January 2017 intelligence community assessment that President Obama ordered, John Brennan, who's CIA director at the time, and the intelligence community intentionally suppressed intelligence that showed Putin was saving the most damaging material that he had in his possession about Hillary Clinton until after her potential and likely.
What is it? Give it to us and we'll believe you. Does anyone agree with that? I do. I say, give us the dirt that you were supposedly
100%
hiding, and then we'll believe what you're saying. Okay? Because why hasn't it come out then still? Like, I mean, what the hell?
Victory. The report goes into great detail about the information that Russia and Putin had on Hillary Clinton, which included possible criminal acts, like secret meetings with multiple named U.S. religious organizations in which State Department officials offered, in exchange for supporting Secretary Clinton's campaign for the presidency, significant increases in financing from the State Department. They also had documents that showed the patronage of the State Department to State Department employees who would go and support Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign. There were high-level DNC emails that detailed evidence of Hillary's, quote, psycho-emotional problems, uncontrolled fits of anger, aggression, and cheerfulness, and that then Secretary Clinton was allegedly on a daily regimen of heavy tranquilizers. Then CIA Director Brennan and the intelligence community mischaracterized intelligence and relied on dubious substandard sources to create a contrived false narrative that Putin developed a quote-unquote clear preference for Trump. Brennan and the IC misled lawmakers by referencing the debunked Steele dossier to assess quote-unquote Russia's plans and intentions, falsely suggesting that this dossier had intelligence value when he knew that it was discredited. The intelligence community excluded significant intelligence and ignored or selectively quoted reliable intelligence that contradicted the intelligence community assessment's key findings on Putin's alleged support for Trump. Including this intelligence reporting would have exposed the ICA's claim as implausible, if not ridiculous. The intelligence community assessment omitted reliably sourced information, such as how some Russian intelligence officials were quote-unquote planning for candidate Hillary Clinton's victory, while others assessed neither Trump nor Clinton would respect Russia's interests.
So, hold on. Let me pull this one up.
At 7 News Detroit, your voice
matters. I hate these ads.
Watch weeknights at 5 and 6.
Out of here.
If you don't trust political headlines but still crave the real story, then you need to hear these explosive new claims. This week, former intelligence director Tulsi Gabbard accused Hillary Clinton of hiding...
That's not what I wanted to pull up, and sorry about that.
As reflected in the ODNI documents that we released on Friday, multiple intelligence community assessments released in the months leading up to the November 2016 election concluded that Russia had neither the intent nor capability to impact the outcome of the U.S. election. On December 5th of 2016, the FBI and ODNI gave the House Intelligence Committee its first post-election classified briefing, in which there was no mention of Putin aspiring to elect Trump by either agency.
This is what I wanted.
Will, because we've studied this footage, like the Zapruder film almost, you can see Hillary Clinton wobbling. She's not able to actually hold her head straight. She's losing consciousness. She has no more autonomic nervous system operation. She's effectively dead. She's somebody who's like unable to stand on her own 2 feet. You can see that because you can see her shoe fall right off her foot here. As she is dragged into the van. She's so out of it. She's so completely cooked that her shoe, she doesn't even have the capacity to keep her feet in her shoes. Now, when does that happen? Well, parents know.
I don't remember seeing that before, but interesting. I mean, she's so
I remember it.
Wasted on tranquilizers and just doped up on everything that she can't even fucking stand up. Like, I don't know. Have we ever seen a Trump clip like this? He doesn't even drink. So it's like, I don't know, all these people and they're just like, what are you talking about? This crazy bitch, I swear to God. And then like all these people talking about her being emotionally fucking unpredictable and just a psychopath. Yeah, drugs are bad. Okay. Okay.
Presidential Daily Brief, drafted on December 8th of 2016, stated that no Russian or criminal actors impacted vote counts. This document was pulled just hours before it was to be published due to quote-unquote new guidance. If it had been published, it would have been briefed to both President Obama and President-elect Donald Trump. On December 9th, 2016, a National Security Council meeting was called to gather President Obama's senior national security officials, which included CIA Director Brennan, then Obama DNI James Clapper, Susan Rice, and others. Following that secret meeting, DNI Clapper's assistant sent an email to the intelligence community with the subject line, POTUS tasking on Russia election meddling, tasking ODNI leaders to create a new assessment per the president's request. The House Intelligence Committee Oversight Report that we released today reveals that, quote, unlike routine intelligence community analysis, the intelligence community assessment was a high-profile product ordered by the president, President Obama. It directed senior intelligence community agency heads and created an intelligence community assessment limited to just 5 analysts using one principal drafter. This is not something that occurs in the normal path of producing an intelligence community assessment that reflects the views across the intelligence community.
Well, I think we can see where we're going with this. Just cherry picking what they need to. And I mean, at the end of the day, they're going to use that and say, oh, well, he never, I mean, that other report never got officially briefed to them or whatever. So how could he have possibly known? It's like, well, how do you know to fucking squish it? How do you know to make a new one if he didn't see the old one? You know, it's like, Jesus, man, like, let's figure out a way to make sure it fits the narrative. I don't know. It don't even have to like fit that good. It's just like do whatever and see where it goes. It's like no one's gonna care that much or think about it that hard. It's just crazy. I don't know. We'll see where all this goes. They got you know, they're going after Hillary, they're going after Clinton now. He keeps saying, oh, you should look at Clinton going to the island all the time. There was there was an interview. Let me see if I can find it quick. Yeah, I think it's this one.
With Liberty Mutual,
I had never seen this before.
Customize your car insurance to save hundreds. Could you look away? Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
I get 2 long ads,
best
and I get lucky.
Create a website that's worthy of it.
Exclusive interview with billionaire philanthropist Melinda French Gates. Last May, French Gates and Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates stunned the world when they announced that they were ending their 27-year marriage. For decades, the pair appeared to be the perfect example of a power couple giving back. After splitting up, they still share that commitment, and they are maintaining a working relationship. They jointly run their foundation, which currently manages.
I feel like people that like, honestly, I feel like rich people all look like so crazy. I feel like they all like did a deal with the devil or something, that like they'll turn into like just these crazy looking, old, crazy looking people. I don't know. I know, I need to just do it. It's not that expensive. Jeez, I'm such a cheap ass.
There's an endowment of about $50 billion. For the first time since that announcement, French Gate sat down with us for a wide-ranging interview about her journey of healing and her next chapter in life. Divorce is a painful process, even when it's what both parties want. It still is a very painful, personal decision. But most divorces, I think, aren't on evening news. It's not a topic of conversation. Did you think when you and Bill released that statement that it would be a national conversation?
Well, first of all, I think, I want to say that on the day I got married, I never thought I would end up being divorced. Never.
You really did think till death do us part, didn't you?
I did. And, unfortunately, I felt like I needed to take a different path. And so I think, we knew that when the divorce was going to be announced, that it would be a surprise to people. And I felt bad about that. But I didn't have any sense of how big of news it would be. You can't anticipate something like that.
After the news came out, it was revealed that Bill Gates admitted that he had had an affair in the marriage. And at that time, did you think we're going to work through this? How did you handle something like that?
Well, I certainly believe in forgiveness. So I thought we had worked through some of that. It wasn't one moment or one specific thing that happened. There just came a point in time where there was enough there that I realized it just wasn't healthy, and I couldn't trust what we had.
There was one report that said it was multiple affairs. Do you care to say anything about that?
I think those are questions Bill needs to answer.
Okay. It was also widely reported that Bill had a friendship or business or some kind of contact with Jeffrey Epstein, and that you were not, that was very upsetting to you. Did that play a role in the divorce at all in this process?
Yeah, as I said, it's not one thing. It was many things. But
This interview is so sussy. She dances right around a bunch of really, I don't know. I mean, she's kind of saying something without saying it. See, we see without seeing, and she's saying, it's like the backwards. She's like from the good side, like saying without saying, versus the evil side sees but they can't see. It's like, geez, man, like, it's crazy that that's even a statement that I would ever make. This is the world we live in. Some people say what they're not saying, and some people see what they can't see. It's like, Jesus God, man.
I did not like that he'd had meetings with Jeffrey Epstein, no.
Mm-hmm. And you made that clear to him?
I made that clear to him. I also met Jeffrey Epstein exactly one time.
Did you?
Yes, because I wanted to see who this man was. And I regretted it from the second I stepped in the door. He was abhorrent. He was evil personified. I had nightmares about it afterwards. So, my heart breaks for these young women, because that's how.
She said she had nightmares after meeting Jeffrey Epstein for 1 minute. And honestly, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why Bill Gates looks so bad. I mean, he literally made a deal with the devil. I don't know. Like, he gave up something. And I don't know. I see all these really old rich people that all just look like, no, that's not normal. Like, you don't turn into that unless, I don't know, something has to happen for you to turn into that. I don't know. It's kind of sussy. Normal old people don't turn into, like, it's like their skin is shedding and they're like got hair and like weird, and their eyes get all like, and their teeth start going in every which way, and it's like yeah, well, I don't know, I guess. Yeah, I mean, from some of the pictures, he does seem like a huge creep, and honestly, from some of the interviews, he just seems like an arrogant fuck. But to be like he's evil incarnate, like, ooh, like, really? Like, wow.
How I felt, and here I'm an older woman. My God, I feel terrible for those young women. It was awful.
You felt that the moment you walked in? I didn't realize that. Yeah. And you shared that with Bill, and he still continued to spend time with him?
Any of the questions remaining about what Bill's relationship there was, those are for Bill to answer.
Okay.
But I made it very clear how I felt about him.
Mm-hmm. I think
so she more or less said you can't hang out with him because that's bad news bears, and he was like, I'm gonna still hang out with him because that's more important to me than you, which is kind of, that is definitely a statement. I mean, I get it. I would definitely hate for someone to try and like micromanage who are my friends or whatever, but at the same time, I'm assuming this isn't like that, where she's just micromanaging all his friends, but it's like, I don't know. You have to kind of make a decision there. And I feel like, you know, that kind of highlights what she's saying. You know, it's like, well, if that's that important comparatively, then I don't know. Maybe they had their own Hellfire Club? What's a Hellfire Club? Oh. British and Irish clubs known for their scandalous activities and libertine behavior among high... Yeah, I would love X-Men? Oh, Marvel. Welcome back! Did you make sure to clean under your nails? I mean, it gets really messy everywhere, Sabrina! You got some of those, like, ear Q-tip thingies that aren't Q-tips, like the ones that are made to pull the wax out? All right. Well, we were just talking about Tulsi Gabbard and this Obama stuff and the Russian Gate hoax. And then we moved to Melinda Gates' interview. Yeah, not the X-Men part. Talking about some stuff with Jeffrey Epstein. But let's just listen to this all together so we can get a holistic view, because I kind of broke it up a little bit, but she's definitely saying stuff without saying stuff.
Well, first of all, I think, you know, I want to say that on the day I got married, I never thought.
So how's the purple? I tried to dye my hair, but I have like really black hair, and then I had to like lighten it first, and it like didn't work, and like I don't know, I didn't want to like destroy my hair from like chemicals and everything, so it was like whatever, I gave up on it. But I haven't had good luck. Maybe you have a light color hair that's easy to change, but yeah, I like purple.
I would end up being divorced. Never.
You really did think till death do us part, didn't you?
I did. And, you know, unfortunately, I felt like I needed to take a different path. And so I think, you know, we knew that when the divorce was going to be announced that it would be a surprise to people. And I felt bad about that. But I didn't have any sense of how big of news it would be. You can't anticipate something like that.
After the news came out, it was revealed that Bill Gates admitted that he had had an affair in the marriage. And at that time, did you think we're going to work through this? How did you handle something like that?
Well, I certainly believe in forgiveness. So I thought we had worked through some of that. It wasn't one moment or one specific thing that happened. There just came a point in time where there was enough there that I realized it just wasn't healthy, and I couldn't trust what we had.
There was one report that said it was multiple affairs. Do you care to say anything about that?
You know, I think those are questions Bill needs to answer.
Okay. You know, it was also widely reported that Bill had a friendship or business or some kind of contact with Jeffrey Epstein, and that you were not, that was very upsetting to you. Did that play a role in the divorce at all in this process?
Yeah, as I said, it's not one thing, it was many things. But I did not like that he'd had meetings with Jeffrey Epstein, no.
And you made that clear to him?
I made that clear to him. I also met Jeffrey Epstein exactly one time.
Did you?
Yes, because I wanted to see who this man was. And I regretted it from the second I stepped in the door. He was abhorrent. He was evil personified. I had nightmares about it afterwards. So, you know, my heart breaks for these young women because that's how I felt. And here I'm an older woman. My God, I feel terrible for those young women. It was awful.
You felt that the moment you walked in? I didn't realize
He was awful.
that. Yeah. And you shared that with Bill, and he still continued to spend time with him?
Any of the questions remaining about what Bill's relationship there was, those are for Bill to answer.
Okay.
But I made it very clear how I felt about him.
I think.
Yep, saying stuff without saying stuff. She's saying he needs to come clean. It's not my, you know, it's not my responsibility to let other people's dirty laundry out. They got to figure that out on their own. And frankly, even from like possibly a healing perspective, like you got to kind of, if you're forced into it or someone else does it for you, it's not really the same thing as like doing it for yourself. So we'll see. But I think she's saying a lot without saying anything. Either that or she's like a huge bitch and knows that saying it that way is going to make people think twice. I don't know. But she doesn't seem like that, honestly. But I don't know. I haven't seen that much from her. So who knows? But that's kind of where we're at with everything. We'll see where all this Epstein stuff goes. I think at the moment, at least, it's probably not going to go anywhere, really. Or they're going to clean it up or somehow try and do something about something. Or really try and highlight certain people. I don't know how they could do that without the other side like, I mean, it's just crazy. They have to have stuff on each other, otherwise it would have already come out. Like, I feel like the best case scenario is like, yeah, maybe Trump's in there, but he didn't do anything and he just doesn't want to deal with it. Or I don't know. At that point, you may as well just deal with it. Or maybe he's waiting until after midterms and then he'll be like, fine, at that point, I don't give a fuck. Or I don't know. Even then, would it make other people look bad? I have no idea. But I have to believe that either A, he just didn't know the extent of whatever implicating thing is in there, which is kind of crazy because he had time as president before to like figure out what or whatnot was there, and time now. And so either there was like a big, huge surprise along the way, or some third party came in, or multiple third parties potentially, and were like, no, this can't happen. And they didn't come in until like the last moment or something, and then it had to be that way for whatever reason. Like, I don't know who could possibly put that kind of pressure on Trump, but maybe there's some reason, and maybe it gives him leverage. I don't know, like doing this gets him some sort of leverage over whoever that is. I don't know. There could be some long game here as well. I'm really not sure. Yeah, exactly. Let's just talk around in circles. There may or may not be a point to anything that I may or may not be saying. It's like the points could be there. They might not. I may have said it. I don't know. I could be talking nonsense. But that's a lot of this stuff. That's just where we're at with all of it. Like, who knows, you know? We'll see where it goes. I feel like it's just so weird. Why did they let it escalate? Like, Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, Pam Bondi going, like, even JD Vance was saying release it. Yeah, like Trump from the get-go was like, he was kind of like, yeah, maybe, yeah, we would do it, but maybe less importantly than other things. Like, from day one, he was like hesitant about it. So there must have been already some inkling, or like, there's something he doesn't want to deal with, or someone close to him that he doesn't want to deal with, or whatever. I don't know. There has to be something. If it was nothing, he would just like he would just let it go. I don't understand. Like, this doesn't make any sense, and it's not helpful to him. And it's like it's one of the few things that can actually drive a wedge right from in the base. Is like, there's a lot of people that care. I frankly don't care that much about it, but it is clearly important, and a lot of people care about it a lot. And I don't know. We'll see where it all goes. But that about wraps up the news for this week. Thank you, Bobby, for submitting some additional topics for us to review. If anyone comes across any interesting news topics, we would love to hear about it. You can drop them in our Discord. Let me see if I can toss that out for a moment. Happy to hang out and chat with y'all some more. If you have any other world events that are worthy of our time. But I do appreciate everyone hanging out with us. I know things can get messy sometimes, and I hope you all have a lot of fun here today. Don't take anything too seriously that I say. Especially things that I say, don't take them very seriously. But we do have a lot of fun. I look forward to seeing y'all at games. If you're interested in joining us tonight at 7:30, we'll be running something different probably. We'll wait for Freaky to come back to run the beautiful turtle base, and or we'll do something funny with the time.
We miss you,
so we can
Freaky.
just hang out. We miss you, Freaky! But hopefully he will be back very soon, and things will be back to normal. But thank you so much. Look forward to catching you all next Saturday if you just are here for the RedNex news. And look forward to all of that. Have a great weekend, everyone, and we will catch you next time. And thank you, Ziggy, for joining us.
I'm no replacement of, Mr. GONxFREAKS, but I did listen.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And hopefully maybe we can get you on more regularly, too.
I typically don't do anything on Saturdays, so
just facts you'll see.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone, and we will talk to you all soon.
Story will
See you guys in a few hours.
from the streets of Paris to Tokyo's gleam. Every city, every voice will hear them. No spin, no hype, just calm and serene. RedNex World News, where truth is supreme. Captain Pav and GONxFREAKS, unbiased crew, bringing you the news without a slew. RedNex World News, where truth takes flight. Every day, every night, we keep it tight. Through the chaos, through the calm, we stand. With Captain Pav and GONxFREAKS, we understand. The pulse of the world, will never let it fade. RedNex World News, where truth is made. From wars to peace, from despair to hope, we're here to guide you through the scope. No matter the storm, we'll keep you informed. RedNex World News, where truth is born. Captain Pav and GONxFREAKS, unbiased.